Okay, and we're live, and we already have started with the loud metallic noises. So,
yes, that's me.
Yeah, perfect. So for everybody watching out there in TV land, this is PickupStyx, which is our pickup game wherein we just kind of get a random assortment of players from a pool of players, and we don't necessarily continue the thread between different sessions, and we just kind of go with it. I create a one-off, we play through it, and the next session may or may not build off it. We may return to things in the past. We may have major time warps. It's mostly about being able to arrange some time to play at a regular consistency and or to fill in gaps and to just go with it and not have to worry about too much of a formal kind of cadence of play with a linear story. So, on that note, you are on the Misty Steppe, which is a small trade cog out of Tuxcommon. Tuxcommon is a region, it's not a kingdom, it's kind of like an independent nation ruled by several councils that kind of have like a peace accord with one another. And Tuxcommon is known for the city of Skaldanar, which is where your ship has come out of. Don't worry about remembering all these names. It's also known as the City of Twilight because it's perpetually in twilight due to a magical spell that's cast upon it. And the magical spell is there because, of course, it is home to the College of Hidden Letters, which is the major university for the study of arcana in the entire world. All of these different nations send their sorcerers and their wizards and anyone who's studying magic there to gain knowledge and to become proficient in the arts. And as such, it is a neutral space. No army enters, no other nation attempts to take control of it. You're traveling to Denderago, which is in the southmost portion of the world, past the equator, into this very warm area, very tropical, and you're specifically going to Porto Raca, which is the Port of Rays. And you have been enlisted in the aid of a merchant who is traveling to Porto Raca to purchase a very, very rare magical ingredient that the school requires. He's a lesser purveyor of needs at the College of Hidden Letters in Tuxcommon, and you've encountered him on this voyage. It's taken about a month so far. It's a really long voyage, and it's taken that month, and you've gotten to know him. You don't necessarily like him. His name is Caldecan Deldinar Thracian. Caldecan Deldinar Thracian. And he's overly important, overly pompous. He's middle-aged, he's very skinny, he has this very pronounced Adam's apple, a really hooked nose, dark matted hair, no beard at all, completely clean-shaven. He wears
I feel a little attacked right now.
You feel he's clearly Corey. He wears fine clothing, which is usually purple chased with silver. He generally carries a scimitar at his side, but it's the type of thing where you can see it's very ornate and has never been used. And every single time you see him aboard the ship, you know, whether he's walking around top deck or not, he always has this look in his eyes like he's judging you. Yet he's the one who's also holding the purse strings and has paid for you. You're there to be protecting him and whatever he's doing. He hasn't filled you in exactly on the details. You know it's for the college. You know he needs something. You're not exactly certain what it is, but you're being paid nonetheless. The captain of the ship is Captain Danegood Melburnt. He is a rough and tumble individual with a large, rotund belly and arms just braided with muscle, covered in tattoos. As you've moved south into this tropical weather, he has taken off his shirt, and he just walks across the ship, bellowing orders in a big baritone, just, you know, shirtless, tattoos everywhere. And he's the type of guy who laughs and everybody laughs with him, but in stern moments, everybody cringes and kind of cowers. Clearly has spent his entire life at sea. You are...
I'm not going to sing the Gaston song. No one hits like Gaston. I guess I am going to sing the Gaston.
We can tell you're not a bard. So yeah, your small cog is beginning to get into port. You can see the the coastline and the city looming. It is surrounded by all sorts of fortifications and walls, and there are towers. And there's a mountain kind of rising out of the center, which has a fortress at the top. And you see cannon emplacements, and there's a lot of ships moving in and out, a lot of smaller vessels, a lot of traffic. And it's tropical weather, it's really warm. A lot of the sailors are shirtless and barefoot and walking around in the rigging, beginning to trim the masts as you come in. And you're all top deck for this momentous occasion.
Nice. So what time of the day is it? Sorry.
It's actually midday already, so you're kind of making port at fairly late in the day.
And this is the Isle of Twilight? Did I hear that right before?
No, you are on... it's not an island. You're at the city of Porto Raca in Denderag.
Oh, so we are at the city. We're not on the ship.
No, you're on the ship about to get to the city.
Okay.
Oh, okay. How long was the journey again?
A month. A very long
Because
journey.
the job that we've been ordered to do, we're basically protecting this guy. That was the idea,
Yep,
right?
you don't have to do any work on the ship. You don't have to trim any masts. You don't have to weigh anchor. You just have to look pretty with your weapons.
Do we have to go ahead? Yeah, I've got my
I,
letter.
for one, would love to get off the ship.
Do we have, has my character ever been here before?
Give me just like a random d20. Sure.
Sure. How about a 14?
No, you have never been here before.
Okay.
It's exotic.
Well, good. I'm looking forward to.
Should we do a...
I'm excited.
Since for the 3 people watching this, should we maybe do like a round of character intros?
Why not? Let's do it. So let's start with Chop Tank.
Let me just unmute. Yeah, so Chop Tank, I'm a paladin follower of Ilmater. I come from the mountain people of dwarves. I'm just trying to go out and protect those that cannot protect themselves. So wherever I hear of an adventure, that is where I shall be.
Excellent. Childera.
Sure. Childera Hightower, a halfling cleric and a devout follower of Osiris. I've been gifted with the ability to be incredibly talented at healing through those life and death forces that I get from Osiris. So, here to make you guys feel good.
Excellent. Maladroit.
Maladroit Detonation. She is a female rock gnome sorcerer with wild magic as her main thing, and she's friendly. She's bubbly. She is taller than most gnomes because of a wild surge that happened last time, and she loves life. She loves everything about it. She's always interested in chatting and finding out more about people. And by golly, the world's a great place.
Morris.
Morris is a human monk, and he's not sure exactly how he ended up on this boat. All he knows is that he woke up after drinking too much one night, and apparently he was on the job. So that's pretty much all how he met everybody here on this boat. Morris likes to travel the world, make really bad maps because there's a lot of gaps in his memory, and he likes to play the bagpipes, drink, and hit stuff.
Could you send us some examples of these really bad maps? Because I feel like I would enjoy that. Like, something's over here.
Well, he basically has these scribbles of maps, but there's very badly worded things on them. If no words at all. But the thing is, he doesn't know which way is north or south on the map, and he doesn't know where the map belongs. So
if Morris is willing to chat, Maladroit would love to talk about your maps. She thinks they're absolutely fantastic, fabulous, and she has no problem trying to. It's like a puzzle. Let's see if we can put them together and see how they fit.
And he's got great stories. It always starts with drinking somewhere. Or I woke up this day, after drinking too much the night before. There's always a drink involved. If you notice that, of course, Morris is dressed very casually, and he's got a quarterstaff with him. The guy has no other weapon.
How my character knows Nick's character.
And basically, he carries a very loud set of bagpipes, and he insists on playing it to earn his keep. And because he kind of to think that he thinks that he's a bard, but he's not. And he carries you've noticed the guy has 4 water skins on him, but only one of them carries water.
Does he do the shot of whiskey, shot of water plan? Because that doesn't work.
Actually, No, it's water, wine, beer, and
somewhere.
mead.
In that order, that's how he drinks it, right? It's like one bourbon, one scotch, and one beer.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a song about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can play George Thorogood on the bagpipes.
Perfect. All right, Helen, how about you?
So Helen is a regal 49-year-old human, and she has been 49-year-old human for the past 13 years. She has given her career in the service of the Queen, performing noble tasks, always on the up and up. She's always fabulous. She always has a plan for everything. She never steals and has never killed anyone.
Never, not once. Okay. You all know each other. You've been on this ship for some time now. You've gotten relatively acquainted, unless, you feel like being distant, and that's totally fine. As the ship begins to come in, the captain begins barking orders. Trim that sail. Move that over there. Clear this deck. And Caldecan walks over to your collective group and says, be prepared. You're going to earn your keep now. And the captain walks over to me and says, none of my sailors are going ashore with you. This place is cursed. And he kind of spits on the deck, and somebody runs over and just quickly begins cleaning it.
I'd like to ask the captain, why is it cursed?
This port has a way of just getting to sailors' hearts, and they stay here, never coming back.
So only sailors, no one else is affected?
Kind of looks you up and down, and he's like, you'll be fine.
Oh, excellent. Let's go.
What could go wrong?
She is off the boat if that's possible.
As you get closer, you
There's only
see...
a few things that would keep sailors around, so...
As you get closer, you see that you're actually sailing beyond the walls. So the walls go all the way out into the water and are standing in the water, and you can see soldiers kind of lazily leaning against their spears and the crenellations. A couple of them are looking at your ship half curiously, just wondering where it came from. The ship is flying, this cobalt blue banner to indicate that it came from Tux Common, and there's a tiny little, picture of the college on it, so everybody knows there might be wizards aboard, and that might be entertaining. And they've trimmed the masts basically all the way, and a couple of just whatchamacallit, they just kind of start rowing it in basically and slowing it down. And there's another small ship that kind of comes over to the side, and there's a port master, and it begins conversing with the captain kind of lazily, and the captain's leaning over, holding on by a rope, half just kind of falling out of the ship. And he's like, yeah, okay, we'll go to that port. Yes. But there's no tiny ship sinking.
As we approach, of course, Morris tried to take sight of the island and started scribbling another really bad map, to see if he could start somewhere.
Do you want to give me a performance to
ship?
see how well you scribble it, or?
Well, I actually have proficiency in cartographer's tools.
Ooh, so do you want to do?
I'm not sure which role that would be though.
No matter what the map looks like, I
think it's intelligence.
Yeah, intelligence sounds right. Why don't you give me an intelligence plus proficiency, since you are proficient with it and you have the tools?
Yeah, and intelligence is definitely not my best stat, but anyway.
Perfect.
The first roll of the night is a 14.
You actually do a pretty good job. You're doing it, and you're like, oh, this must be all wrong, but it's actually really good.
So, are we getting off the ship now?
We're going to. So it's
okay. All right.
As we're passing by the guards and the towers, that kind of stuff, and I see that they're watching, I'm going to use prestidigitation to put an image on the main sail that says, "Today is a good day!" Exclamation.
One of them points, and the other one looks, and they're like. And one of them kind of claps for you, they've seen wizardry before, and they're like.
Today's a good day. Let's start off on the right foot, everybody.
So you're now
Andrew,
yeah.
As we're coming in, being that my character always wants to have a backup plan, my character's starting to eye up escape routes, bad, places that could be an ambush, basically anything that sets off the red flags.
Right. So it's
from my desk job for the Queen.
It's a fairly dense city. It's made of a lot of white buildings with this orange tile work on the roofing. No buildings are really more than 2 stories. Maybe there's the occasional 3-story building, but that's about it. It's not built very high, and it runs all the way up this kind of, it's not really a mountain, it's more of a very tall hill. and it runs all the way into walls that are on the tall hill. And you can kind of see from where you are that the city itself has been sectioned off by many different walls for protection. So, you know, deductively, you can reason that this place has been at war in the past and maybe traded hands a couple of times just by the amount of fortification there. But at the same time, it's not like there's a heightened military presence, and everybody kind of looks a little lazy.
So as we approach, also, I start any sailor that's been there before. I start chatting them up to find out, like, are there any good inns or taverns?
Yeah,
where you might visit?
there's. So why don't you give me a just a diplomacy or persuasion? Persuasion?
Yeah.
Persuasion. I always mix up three and 5 still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, natural 20.
There's
That's a great use for that roll. Finding out where the bars are.
like, what type of bar?
Like,
Yelp appears.
for that, basically, the guy hands me the Zagat of the island, you know?
Listen,
Here you go, buddy.
my favorite place to go is the Beaten Horse Tavern. It's just low and dirty and full of horse.
Full of horse?
Anybody sounds like that and tells me to go to
Oh,
a bar,
horse!
that's the bar I'm
Oh,
going.
You say it's full of horses?
It's full of ladies of the
horse.
night, the best kind.
Horse.
They're really cheap and clean.
So-
You just got to spit on them first.
so is it beaten horse or beaten oars?
The Beaten Horse.
It's full of oars.
The Beaten Horse is full of horse.
Okay.
Roast some horse tonight.
So at that point, Caldecan kind of walks over to you and says, okay, it's time to make yourselves useful. Go grab those 3 chests. And he points to 3 chests that sailors have brought on deck. And they're relatively small, but they're fairly long. And they have handles on either side. And you look at these chests, and they are covered in steel, like really well-worked steel. And they're made out of something known as iron oak, which is this pure black wood that is just legendary for how strong it is. So they're made out of that really hardened wood, and then they have steel encasement all around them, and these massive locks dangling from them. And they look ridiculously heavy, even though they're tiny.
And this is the merchant brought these.
Yes, and he says, go pick those up.
I'll let my chivalrous compatriots grab them first.
I have no
49
problem
gold.
picking one up, though I do kind of want to take a look at, is this a real ironwood chest?
Oh yeah,
or
and you see all sorts of runes running across it, like it's had
Ooh,
carvings.
Could I recognize what the runes are?
Yeah, do you speak
I was
Elvish?
actually gonna ask him.
Oh, I don't think I speak Elvish, actually.
Does anyone speak Elvish?
I'm checking.
Nope. Elves don't make really good alcohol, so I didn't really have a chance.
No one likes elves in this world.
Oh,
anyway.
wait, I take that back. I take that back. I do speak Elvish, I forgot.
Excellent. So you see that there's an incantation on here of some type. Why don't you give me an Arcana roll?
Or just read it out loud.
Don't read this out loud. The Arcana roll is a total of 18.
Yeah, that's great. So this is a trap. Like, not that it's a trap like Admiral Akbar style. It's a trap. But look,
It's trapped in terms of
it is
like you
trapped.
try to open it.
Yes, if you try and open
Okay.
it, and you can tell in the Elvish it says something about like a command word. Speak the command word, or forever regret your decision to try and tempt the fates by opening this. Something along those
You know, elves
lines.
are-
Rough translation.
Elves always are a little bit more flowery than they need to be with
Yeah,
wine.
it's very poetic. It's in like certain types of stanzas, and it's beautiful.
Okay.
It's more articulate than I can be.
It's the most beautiful warning I've ever read.
All right, so pick those up and let's get out of here.
Well, Maladra would need some help because
They're heavy.
she is not strong at all.
They're about 55 pounds each.
Yeah, she could use. She would ask. She'd ask Morris if he'd be willing to give her a little bit of a help here.
Say what?
Can you grab the other end of this? It's a little bit heavy for me. I'm a little bit on the not strong side.
And
Yeah, I've always got one by myself.
how many are there?
There are 3.
Oh, there are 3. This is already a lot of work. Okay.
Yeah, what do we owe this guy?
That's right. I would fully expect you to write a song about it.
Helen, help me pick up the
I
last
don't
one.
sing.
Oh,
Can't
you've got
sing
it,
when I
Dave.
got the thing in my mouth.
You have
I
such
play
large
the bagpipes,
shoulders.
you know?
Oh yeah, I never thought about that.
Do humans even lift?
So it's like, for the love of, okay.
Let's
Start
chop
picking
things
up
take
and-
2. His arms look like ironwood themselves.
The
Where are we bringing these
sailor,
things?
the
I like
sailor
that
walks over and he's like, make sure you lose your legs there, not your back, Morris, and slaps you on the back.
Was that a short
Good
joke?
advice, actually.
Wait, did you say somebody was slapping me?
Yeah, like politely, like jovially, like drinking buddy slapping you on the back.
Oh, okay, all right.
Not in the face. Definitely not in the
Don't
face.
slap a monk.
While these strong and handsome individuals carry these cases, I'm gonna just hang back a little bit, keep an eye on things. If I need to, slip into the shadows. Give it a knife, someone.
Okay, so Caldecan leads you off the ship, and you get on the docks, and the city's right up, butting up against the water, basically. There are cafes, and you see people sitting around. You see a couple armed guards on their patrols, and you immediately kind of like, he's picking a quick step. He's like, keep up, that can't be that heavy. And he just kind of goes off and expects you to follow. And you hear what sounds like the buzz, the sounds of a market. And it's very quick. It's close to shore, this market. Clearly, this is, a very important port, even though it's a relatively small city. And you immediately are barraged by scents. All of these spices wafting through the air, and there are these bizarre canvases kind of up on each of the stalls, and they're whipping around in the wind that's coming from the sea. And you see fresh fish, you see exotic woods and spices, you see all sorts of drying meats hanging, and people hawking their wares. And there's a lot of individuals of all different nationalities and all different even races, which is somewhat exotic for this entire world, mingling and kind of heckling and trying to figure out, am I going to buy this and how much am I going to buy it for?
So we're kind of busy, but can I get a glance as we enter in here? Like anything looks of interest? Any shops? Somebody have some interesting knickknacks or doodads?
Yeah, just give me a general.
They might want to come back and visit.
Just throw an investigation roll.
Okay. That's my best skill, and I got a whopping, I think, 8. So,
I mean, you see a lot of what are clearly trade goods.
yeah.
So there's like teas, like large mounds of teas, large mounds of spices, dried fruit, and some of this is clearly meant to be ship provisions, right? You're
okay.
at basically the most southern part of the world, if you want to think about it that way. So it's the most southern part.
Andrew?
Yes.
Just sorry to break this,
No, it's
but
all good.
on Twitch, your D&D Beyond overlay has the wrong characters.
Oh, you're right. Thank you.
I don't know who Elodin and Dimitri and Lucius are,
What?
and I'm sure that the people watching this are probably wondering,
That doesn't make any
wait,
sense.
what?
Wait, let me check, because that's very weird. That's not what I'm broadcasting, so that makes no sense.
I'm on Twitch, and I see Maladroy, I see Helen, I see Morris.
No, but if you hover on the left edge, there should be a pop-up.
That's the
that
plugin.
pops open.
Yeah, that's a plugin. Just, I guess, I wonder if there's a way to disable that. Visible? Not visible. There we go. Did that work? Or was that only for me?
I don't see anything at the moment.
If you hover your mouse on the left edge of the screen, Matt, you'll see it.
It's still there right now?
Yeah, I still see it.
All right, let me turn it off. Thank you for that. Yeah, I didn't think to turn it off because it's, I just have it on.
Well, since my video feed doesn't work on my thing, I figured I would watch it with like a 5-second delay.
Why not?
That's funny.
Where do I go to turn off the plugins? They should make it so you can like turn it off and on right from the thing. Let me see.
There's a lock to pin it, but aside from that, that's it. Anyway, it's not a huge deal.
Nope, I'm gonna turn it off though because it should be extensions.
Okay.
There we go.
I see Dex. Oh my god.
Yeah, Dex, I see is there. I see, like on the regular one, I see everybody, but Andrew still, but that's all right.
I see
Wanna
Dex
grab a
in
beer while you guys are messing with
1994
that?
video.
Nice if there's a
I seem to be able to get enough of a stream that I could do audio or video, but the second I turn video on, everything goes to red.
So you'll be the mystery man.
Well, I just switched it over. I don't know if it'll refresh right away or what. I just switched it over to this
Let
campaign.
me refresh the screen, actually, for Twitch to see if that does it.
Yeah, it might take a second. I just actually switched it over, so it should be this campaign.
Okay. Yep, I see it.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Okay.
Nice.
So, let me go back to my DM notes. Right. So
Sorry to break
no, it's all
your
good.
flow there.
Caldecan brings you through. So yeah. So you see lots of trade goods basically, and of course there's general supplies meant for the ships, and there are some kind of areas where you can't see what's there. You just see a door with not necessarily even a sign, maybe like one tiny sign that just has like a red circle on it, and you see like a dark room with smoke coming out and people quietly conversing, things of that nature.
Totally normal.
Totally normal.
Anybody selling booze?
You'd have to go inside of a proper drinking place. There are some like cafes that are set out in the market, and you can see people like sitting outside of these places drinking booze. So
I noticed
definitely booze.
my colleague here being a little thirsty. So I'm gonna, while they're bravely marching, I'm just gonna duck in, grab a couple beverages to go, and I bring him one.
I haven't even started the game, and you're already splitting the party up.
Yes,
Okay.
you roll for initiative, but just you, Corey.
I guess I would probably know who of the party would want a drink right now, and whoever wants one, I get one.
Yeah.
Who am I carrying the box with, by the way?
Me, Maladroy.
Oh, okay,
Maladroy.
Maladroy, okay.
Sorry.
So you grab a couple of like fresh ales, freshly brewed ales,
All right.
which it's
for everyone.
you've been at sea probably now for like
my hands filled with chests.
you've been at sea
So
for
I'm
like over a
carrying
week,
the-
so it's something you want.
Chop Tank, are you holding 2 chests?
I'm holding one chest with 2 hands.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah, your lazy ass made me carry another one. while I'm watching
Just
this
pour the
entire
ale
show
right
all by myself, no,
Well, I
Drinking
point to the other end of my chest, which is basically a short female gnome that's probably not even sticking out from the top of the box.
Just slide
She's
the
a little
beer
bit taller.
down the chest.
She's a little bit taller for
I
last
might as
adventure.
well. I might as well be carrying this alone.
I should have mentioned, you noticed that all of her pants, she's sewn about 8 inches of leggings on the bottom of each one.
I love it. Caldecan looks at you and kind of stops very dramatically. He's like, "Well, stop dilly-dallying. We're right in here." And he points down a dark alleyway.
Oh, sweet.
This
All
looks
right, get
perfectly
behind
safe.
me. Everybody get behind the shield dwarf.
And he kind of just like marches off.
This is called the can. That's saying that.
Yes.
Okay. Called
And he's going off by himself.
He's expecting you to keep up.
Can I,
Right, but I'm like, okay.
I say,
Trying, bro.
fabulous,
Trying so well.
fabulous day for a dark alley, boys, don't you think? And I follow him hot on his heels, and I try to sort of get into the shadows on the side, if I can do so nonchalantly.
Yeah, I mean, you see like there's 2 guys here who are just kind of like leaning, like already completely drunk off their asses.
excellent.
And they're like leaning there and they're kind of like, "Hey," as you go by, like, "Spare some copper." One of the guys just like vomits right in front of you. And Caldecan like steps to the side. He's like, "Ugh."
So I point to Maladroid. Can you clean this up a little bit, please?
Yeah, a little bit of precipitation. 1
Excellent.
cubic
And,
foot.
hey, by the way, fellas, I probably should have asked this like a month ago when we got on that ship, but
No, I'm like the president.
are we getting paid for this job?
Well, that's why
I am. I don't know about
Yes.
you.
It just occurred to me. I didn't have to work for a whole month, but now I have to carry boxes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
some
we getting
of us
paid for this?
negotiated a deal.
You've been getting paid
Where
a
you
wage.
appeared on the ship drunk.
You're getting paid a wage per day. And then what's happening is you have like a lump sum that you will be given once the ship returns back safely to port.
So have we been getting a salary for the last month?
Yeah.
then? How much? I need money.
A gold a week.
A gold a week, so I have 4 gold.
Let's say 2 gold a week.
2 gold
It's
a
a
week,
lot.
so I have
You're there to protect
8
his
gold.
life. Yeah.
No, this is great. I only had 2 gold. Now I
Yeah.
have 10.
Yeah, you got a lot.
Holy cow.
I can drink.
So that's going to buy a lot of drinks.
Mm-hmm, you know it.
From the good stuff, top shelf.
Well, that's pretty much what I was asking, fellas.
Okay, so you all the way at the end of the alleyway is a much quieter section, and you see that there's this door and it's standing open, and there are a couple of windows that are propped open as well, wooden windows, and there's smoke, just like this haze of purple smoke coming out of the windows, and you see a sign, and intricately in the local dialect it says Prioria Elusia. And under it in common, it says the bloody wine.
Pre-order your elixir, is that what it was?
Something like that. Prioria Elusia.
I've had blood wine before. It packs a real kick.
Can we tell what kind of this is?
You give me, no, you don't even need to roll for it. Yeah, it's some type of very heady tobacco that gives you a very immediate and long-lasting buzz. Tobacco.
Let's get some of that.
So he looks at all of you and says, "This place is both distasteful and very important. The people we meet are also very important. Do not disappoint me, and whatever you do, do not partake in the wares of this establishment. There will be no drinking," and he kind of eyes one of your empty bottles, and he says, "and mostly no smoking."
I drop the box
Does it?
and I walk out.
He kind of like eyes your storming off. He's like, "Ugh."
Yeah, that was not part of the plan. If you had told me this at the beginning, I would have been out right away.
Come on.
Nobody tells me I can't drink.
He kind of like looks and he's like, "I will have to have words with that one."
Oh.
Come. Bring the chests.
Come on, human. See if you can pick it up.
Come on, yeah, the female gnome is doing a pretty good job here, with the help of the monk. But
So you enter this establishment, and again, it's full of smoke.
Twice the size, half the endurance.
And there are lanterns hanging with all sorts of exotic colors burning. Not by magic or anything like that. It actually just has, different colored light sources with like glass on it of different colors. And there are all of these small chambers, but they're open. There's no doors on them. And they have like private tables, and there are people quietly drinking, other people kind of a little more, loudly conversing. And you notice that there's a lot of sexual acts also being performed very openly in these spaces.
I was about to say, in the open?
Are they? Do they look like they're consensual?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Darling, don't be
all
so-
for
Coin
it.
has made
More
it
power
very
to them.
You can't spell consensual without coin.
Is there a table where there's like just a few fellas drinking?
Absolutely. There's many tables with a few fellas drinking.
I am gonna walk over to
Drinking
them,
what?
pull myself a chair.
Wait, can
and
you wait
sit
until we
down
drop
with
off the
them.
chest, please?
I already dropped.
He's already
the chest,
bounced.
So I basically just
And then we
beeline
split the
for that
party.
table.
One of them, you could see they're all sailors, and one of the guy picks up his mug. He's like, "What are you doing here? Who are you?" And he kind of just looks at you like as if there are three of you.
I'm What is Morris? Let's have a drink. What are we having, boys?
This is blood wine. It's very good. He says, if you have money, you may stay at our table and enjoy it. And before you do that, maybe have some of this. And he hands you like a long hookah, basically.
No, I don't do any of that crap. Just bring on the blood wine.
He kind of looks at you, he's like, okay. And he takes out, a clay mug and pours it. And it is genuinely the color of blood. And it looks a little viscous for wine. And he takes out another... he takes out another jar and pours some... It looks like water, but you can smell a heady alcohol coming from it, a heady alcohol scent. And then he kind of brings it over, and you see, like, he and his compatriots are smirking, and they speak in whatever the local language is. And they all laugh a little bit.
Can I try to see if I can make sense of this, even though all I speak is dwarvish and gnomish?
Yeah, sure. Just to give me an intelligence roll.
I've traveled the world a lot. I mean, my background is far travel.
Actually, you can do insight. Do insight.
I'm also paying pretty close attention to this. Can I help out in any way?
Proficient in insight, and I rolled a 9. So that sucked. All right. By the way, since I have no clue what they're saying, what based on my world travels knowledge and everything, how much would normally something like this cost? Like an average cost, if you were just to pay for it outright.
This isn't expensive. This is a couple copper pieces. Like the entire. He has like a giant flagon. He has 2 giant flagons.
So I throw 3 coppers on the table, and I grab it and I drink.
Yeah, and he kind of nods at you, and they just politely begin speaking to you. Well, not really speaking to you. They're still speaking with each other. And it sounds like one of them's talking about a disease he recently acquired down there.
Oh, that's so nasty.
He's like, it's a problem associated with, my lifestyle. And he kind of smiles, just like this knowing smile. Back to the main party.
I'm not sure that is the main party.
I'm definitely keeping an eye on the side party over there, just to make sure everybody's all right.
A rotund gentleman dressed in extremely loose, colorful clothing walks up and he says, I'm Eluvi. And he kind of makes a large gesture with a big bow, massive smile, and he says, the Salt Lord is in the back, waiting for you.
The Salt Lord?
I heard Salt Lord.
The Salt Lord.
Yeah.
A Salt
Are we
Lord?
carrying salt?
And Caldecan looks at you. He's like, keep these insolent questions to a minimum. Let's go. He brings you.
Boss. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, still carrying.
He brings you to the back.
We're gonna drop this off.
It gets even darker, and the light now is red, and it's just casting this horrible ambience on the scene.
We're all going with him, right?
Oh yeah, and there's.
I don't know. I think Morris wasn't Morris.
Yeah, Morris is coming with. Yes.
There's a man at the back.
Morris is still sitting down drinking, unless you guys do something,
We talk as long as we
Morris
need
is drinking
to
at the opium
in order to get Morris to come
At the
with.
opium bar.
Okay, guys, lots of crosstalk, one at a time.
I'm going to talk to Morris as long as it takes in order to get him to come with us. Darling, I'm sure you can finish that faster. Up.
All right, Helen and Morris are back at the bar.
All right, so
I'm carrying this so I can put it down.
I will take my flagon, my tankard, whatever it is, and I will basically just like follow Ellen. Is it Ellen or Helen? Helen.
I like
Helen.
Ellen.
But I'll bring the tankard with me. I'm like, boys, I'll see you later for a refill.
All right, yes, bring the coin. We're good.
Rule number 1.
And you go, and there's a gentleman in the back, and he's sitting so it's another booth, and he's sitting at like the very farthest point of the booth, and he's wearing this black, loose-fitting clothing, and underneath it you can see black scale mail, and at his side is a rondel dagger, a dagger that basically just comes to a very sharp, long tip, and is really good at puncturing things like necks specifically. Kind of an assassin's weapon, if you will. He has a deep gold sash across his chest, and he has this long, curling black mustache. Very dark features all around, curly-haired. And he says, Duldi Christo at your service. And he kind of like nods.
All these names are really hard to remember.
And he nods to Caldecan, and Caldecan says,
I had him at Salt Lord.
and Caldecan says, Caldecan says, all right, Duldi, it's good to see you again. And he kind of sits down from across him and gestures for you to put the chests down and sit as well. Or guard, or whatever. He kind of gives you one of these. Like,
Oh, thank God.
Maladroit's actually going to sit down on the chest, just like plop down on that, just like,
yeah.
Just kind of cool, the elven runes and the dark wood. It's much cooler than a chair.
God, that was heavy.
My character's going to take a step.
Bar.
My character's going to take a step to the side and sort of take a visual scan of the room for anything that looks a little dicey, escape routes, and anything that could be peril for us.
That's totally legit. Give me an investigation super quick. And
Natural 20.
I was going to say with advantage, but you don't need it. I mean, this whole place is shady. The whole place is shady. But there are a couple of doors, and you can tell by people coming in and out that these doors all lead to different alleyways. Like possibly
Okay.
not even attached to one another alleyways. So there's a lot of ways to egress and ingress into this space. And most people here are armed. And they look like they know how to use weapons. So, yeah.
Weapons.
Who do we? By the way, Morris, after carrying all this the whole way across town, I'm a little thirsty. Can I have a little bit of your flagon?
Yeah, have a taste. It's really good.
Out of
Every time you notice, Chop Tank, every time I talk to you in Dwarvish. I like to practice,
Oh, okay.
so I don't care if the others don't understand. I just talk to you in Dwarvish all the time.
Are you good
I
at
have a
Dwarvish?
lot
Like,
of respect for your people.
did you tell him like this tree is tall?
The pen is blue.
my pants are very hot. So.
That's pretty good, but it's
Andrew, something I was going to mention, I almost forgot, is that I would have done this before we got off of the boat, but I would have cast Mage Armor. It's got the 8-hour duration on it, so
No problem.
that's up and running just as an FYI.
Duldi looks at all of you and he says, "What an interesting group of people. You have to tell me, where are you all from?"
Oh, all over.
And at that point, Caldecan looks at all. He's like, "Shush, Duldi. He says, "We are here, and you know what we're here for." And he says, "I know what you're here for. You're here for the Lustra." And Caldecan says, "Ugh, what a vile term for such a thing."
Have I heard what that is before?
Arcana check.
Ooh, this is my specialty actually. I get a bonus on that. That's what it said. Hang on, let me double check for the features and traits.
Arcana is a skill check.
It's a skill check, but as the rock gnome, you get a special bonus to it. When you're dealing with stuff that's actually magical, there's like you double your proficiency bonus. That's what it is. So that is a 18.
Yeah, so Lustra is a powder, and it's not really called that by anybody except for the people who export it. In the northern provinces, it would be called Brarg.
Oh shit, this is a drug deal.
It'd be called Brarg powder.
It's going down.
And it's basically like this shimmering magical substance that wizards will take and form into these very powerful crystals. So it's a powder, and they use all of this magic that they focus into it to make it into these pure, beautiful crystals that are extremely powerful, extremely expensive, and used in very specific, powerful rituals. For example, being able to transport people across the globe magically against their will.
I've actually heard of this most recently. I can't remember where it was, but there's something that I was reading that had that happen. With the trees on the. Anyways, what I was going to say is that there is. Would I assume, not that my character cares, but would I assume that this is a black market deal? That this is not.
No, it's
this is not a legitimate.
It's not black market. It's just extremely rare. So you literally have to go to the ends of the earth, to find it, which is where you are.
So this is basically technically like a normal business dealing. We're not in some sort of like illegal activity.
Right, but
it's like an arms deal. Like everybody has assault rifles and just kind of eyeing each other up.
It's actually a little bit more like an ivory deal. So it's rare. It's there's very little of it probably. Even you don't know where it comes from. Like it's from this area, but you don't know how it's made.
Exactly,
anything
like how
that.
it's. Got it.
And right now we have it in powder. Or do we see it anywhere?
He does not have any. No,
using?
you don't see any in front of him.
No, they just mentioned it. They haven't actually shown it yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Morris is really bored, and he's just gonna very discreetly start just fiddling a little bit with his bagpipes, but trying not to make too much noise. Like.
Oh, Morris, you've been practicing.
I have a question. Is
that?
this the type of room that would start to get a little twitchy if I get my shield out and axe?
If you actively take them out, like you're kind of like.
I'm not actively taking them out, but just I need 2 hands to carry a chest. I need to at least adjust my gear in case.
Honestly, no, they're not going to get twitchy at all.
All right.
They all look very mellow.
There's just 2 people here, right, with us?
No, this is a full room.
To go down.
Sorry?
So there's 2 people with you, but this is a big open room that then has like little kind of booths off to all the sides, and so you're at one of the booths in the far back.
Oh, okay. I totally misunderstood the kind of room it was. Okay.
So
there's other booths around selling stuff, what is it?
Not selling stuff. It's mostly people just drinking.
Imagine it like Jabba's palace, where there's little nooks.
This is almost like a den of.
Crap! Everything's going down.
This is like a den of villainy or something like that. So you notice that Duldi has like a coffee in one hand, like a steaming cup of very small, black, putrid-looking coffee, and he's gesturing with it broadly. He says, What do you even use the lustra for? And Caldecan's like, that's none of your business. Your band has been really good at refreshing our supply, and that's all you need to know. And he kind of looks at him like crossly. Duldi looks at him crossly. And he calls him Cal for a second. He's like, Cal, you know, if I'm going to give this to you, I really should know what this is for. And Caldecan is having none of this and says, Caldecan, not Cal. What we use it for does not matter. Our gold is gold, and it's been fine before. And Duldi kind of looks at him and says, you know, we fight wars, and your mages are the ones that we send to the bottom of the sea, so maybe this is not such a good transaction. Does anyone want to see if they have any background understanding of what's being talked about?
Yeah, magic.
I would love to.
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't
What
have
would
to
you
run.
want to roll of?
It's just history.
History check.
It's not a hard DC. 14, you know.
Yeah.
We'll go. If you get
15.
10 is the DC.
8.
So he was called the Salt Lord, and the Salt Lords are people from Cretea, and they are basically also known as the Salt Islands, and they're an independent nation composed of many islands, and they're the primary resistance to what's known as the Yelleth Empire. And the Yelleth Empire, you can think of almost the Roman Empire. It's this massive empire that's conquered everybody in their path, except for a couple collect groups. In fact, like in this port are a couple Yelleth warships. In every port are a couple Yelleth warships.
Okay.
And so the Salt Lords are kind of these individuals who have been resisting them for generations, and they've never been able to take over, but they're perpetually at war with the Yelleth Empire. And so what he's specifically talking about is, yes, this wizard's college, it accepts everybody, but you have to pay for it. And who pays for it the most? The Yelleth Empire. And who's he at war with? The Yelleth Empire. So these wizards are getting trained, and then they get put on battleships that then get sent to his islands, that then he, wink wink, sinks. So he's clearly some part of the Cretean Navy.
Okay.
But you do also know that the Cretean Navy is full of pirates.
I turn to Chop Tank and I'm like, are they getting any of this?
Yes, it seems that we've come across a group of people that are willing to play both ends. I don't know how I feel about that.
Caldecan looks at all of you, says, let's get up, let's leave. There's no more of these games. And he says, we can find the Brog powder somewhere else. And Duldi grabs his hand and pulls him to the table.
So what have we been carrying here?
This is the gold.
And he looks at it, he's like, of course, it's payment for his services. Exactly the way he wants that payment. Mysterious. And Duldi looks at him and says, you're not going to find any other captain who will be willing to give you this. It is not the right season. You came here too late. The storms are about to begin. A few more days and no one will be able to leave port.
Oh, the storms? Do tell.
He looks at you and
I
he
am
says,
working my meteorology weather badge, you know.
he kind of looks at all of you and says, your bodyguards here are not very worldly. They've never been this far south before. For 2 months, there will be storms that make this entire region unpassable. I'm sure he never told you this.
As a matter of fact, he did not.
Yeah.
This looks like a wonderful place to stay, though. I'm sure there's some fine hotels in the area.
And there's
So
a bar.
positive. So positive. I love it.
Sounds like
And
it sounds
according to our
I guess we're getting
contract, it
paid
was
for those 2 months.
the contract lasts until we get back to port, so 2 months of pay. I'm not too bad with that.
Caldecan kind of huffs. He's like, this is a simple transaction. Give us the powder. We give you what you want in these boxes. All that it is worth. And then we will be on our way. This should take no more than a few hours. And Duldi looks at him and says, that might be so if you had come earlier, but the supply right now is very thin. In fact, there is none. We must go to the source. And the source right now is very dangerous to go to. Oh, stop with this charade. You're just attempting to bargain for a better deal. No better deal. The deal is fine. But what I'm telling you is, I've already lost men going there to the source and getting more powder. If you want the powder, you and your men will accompany me.
Hazard pay.
Caldecan doesn't like this. Caldecan does not like this at all.
Can we tell if this guy is bullshitting us? Like, does this feel like this guy is like honestly like there is none and you got to go get more, or is he just sort of like, but I could get more money of these
Insight.
guys?
Yeah, that I can probably tell. So
Give me some insight.
try.
No more than 2 people. Just the 2 of you make insight checks.
I'm gonna check.
16.
21.
Boom.
He seems to have genuine.
Morris is no dupe.
He seems to have genuine fear,
All right. I look at Morris and I kind of nod.
and he's a tough guy. So for him to have fear,
I say, well, darling, I mean, as you can see, my compatriots and I are no strangers to danger, but it will cost you.
price.
I
I don't
have a
pay your
question.
price. He'll pay your price. It's fine. It cost me whatever. I don't care. And Calican looks.
These $3 here.
Don't beat me to that.
And he looks at you and says, "Those are of no
I have a
use to you. Those are just for me and mine." And Caldecan says, "It's fine. Listen, where must we go?" And at that point,
No,
Dul-
wait. You were gonna pay with this to get your powder thingy. So if we get you the powder thingy, we can then get this. It's a very simple transaction. You said it yourself. Only takes a few hours.
Caldecan looks at you and he says, "Do you even know what's inside of here? How do you know that this is worth anything to you?"
Does it matter?
I'm curious
Because
to
it's
find
what's
out
happened to you.
if I'm being honest.
He kind of eyes you up and down. "You're being paid your gold. If we must do this, fine. I'll double what you're being paid."
And that's no. This is more than double.
Listen, there are plenty of other people here who would love to be my bodyguard. And he kind of gestures broadly to the room.
Actually, I was looking over there, and they seem to be pretty busy with each other. I don't think they're gonna go on one adventure with you.
He kind of looks over and he's like,
Really drunk.
"Must we always meet in such places?" Duldi, where are we going? And Duldi kind of takes a long draw from his coffee. And he says, very bitter today, very bitter. This is not a very good sign. And he puts it down and kind of looks into it deeply. He says, "Okay, we're going to take the east road. It's not very far. And from there, we'll find the 3 trees. Then we'll travel across the bridge of Howling in the mountains and mist to the mountains of mist and sorrow. And then, and this black liquid begins pouring out of his mouth.
I was say, I think someone just got poisoned.
And he starts clutching at his throat, and his face begins turning purple. And black veins worm up his entire face, and his lips bulge.
Cleric.
Yeah, I know.
And then he falls
do your thing.
falls over, and his stomach explodes. His stomach actually explodes. So not just from his mouth, his stomach explodes,
Oh, dear.
sending bits of organ everywhere. There's intestines just falling out, and he grabs at some of it, and it's just pooling out, and it's black. It is all black as the coffee he was drinking. And he looks up at you, and you hear gurgled words, and he falls headfirst onto the table. More bile and blackness just spreading from his mouth. And Caldecan stands up and walks back. He's like, "What has happened here?" And we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. We're back. Okay.
All right, so
Duldi just died in front of you. Not just died. He dramatically exploded like a balloon overinflated with poison.
Now we're sure he's dead, though.
well, hold on, wait. Before we do that, he might not be dead. We don't know. But a couple things. So the minute that his stomach was exploding, prestidigitation to go ahead and basically take a mental snapshot of that and put it on my clothing right now so I can remember what this looks like. I need to draw this out later. I need to sketch it out to see what the hell was going on.
That's so gross, but yeah, you did.
Do we really need to sketch it out? I'm not sure. I don't know if I agree with that.
I haven't seen anything like this before. I've got to figure this out. And then the second thing is that I also wanted to go ahead and immediately grab the coffee cup that he dropped, where he drank the stuff from.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, it just fell over, so it didn't break or shatter or anything like that.
Is there any of the coffee left?
Of course there is.
I would
don't
like
drink
to
that.
take a look
It's
at that.
coffee.
I
There's
would
much
like
better
to-
booze in there.
do I have some sort of... Oh, sorry, Nick, go ahead.
As Duldy is like being disemboweled, I want to look at Caldecon and figure out like, is he surprised by this, or like did he
Oh,
supposed to happen,
yes.
or what?
He
I
is.
want
he
to
is
see if he's.
you don't even. Your passive insight is good enough. He is genuinely surprised, and he's just like standing up, like, there are organs on me.
The insides are outside.
He's like, you're supposed to handle this.
Oh, okay, wait. Precipitation. Boom, you're clean.
No. Oh no! You just ruined it. You should have used
You just-
precipitation to add more soil on him.
No, that's not what my character does. Maybe you're mean like that, but not my character.
That's what he deserves.
I would like to inspect the coffee if I could,
All right, so
based on what I know of poisons and medicine and the effect that it had on the body.
real quick, two things. First off, Helen, are you going to investigate for the poisons?
He can investigate it with me. I say, darling, don't spill a drop. That's good stuff there.
Do you have your poisoner's kit?
I do.
Yeah, so
Don't
you.
really know how to use it, but...
Well, it's fine.
got it.
You have vials in there for collecting specimens.
Mint, darling, mint.
So
So I investigate it with Chop Tank.
basically, as you kind of stand up to do that, Eludi, the owner of the establishment, the one who's in the bright colors, walks over and he says, "What did you do to him?"
I think your coffee's a little strong.
And he's like, "You killed him. This is not good. Why did you kill him? Nobody kills
Why
anybody
did
here."
you kill him?
And this is how the Frappuccino was born.
All right, well, so I start investigating it, and I say to the... And I'm sorry, who's saying this? This is the dude who we came with?
No, this is
No, the owner.
This is
Owner of the
Eludi. He's like he's the one who led you back.
And the brightly colored robes, I think, or the loose robes, something like that.
Brightly colored loose robes. Good memory. I'm going to have to get the guards.
Well, hold on. There might be something wrong with this coffee.
There's nothing wrong with my coffee.
I say...
No? Would you
darling,
like a drink?
If I say, if you'd indulge us, we would have a few questions before you leave.
Before I leave, none of you must move. This is a crime scene.
Exactly.
And that is what we're trying to help you with.
Have a seat.
Would you like...
Phew.
Would you, as a purveyor of this establishment, like it to be known to the public that your high-end clients are dying from the food?
They're not dying from the food. Everybody can see this. They're not dying from the food. It's clearly you must have done something. Do you want to give me an intimidation since you're kind of trying to intimidate him?
What was that?
You want to give me an intimidation check since you're kind of trying to intimidate him?
Absolutely.
This is what I
19.
live for.
He's like,
Oh, that's a good...
listen,
That's a good-
listen. This is my place. It's very nice. Maybe we don't need to get the guards involved. maybe
As
no
you can
guards.
see, the guts came from the inside out. Do you think
I see
you
far
would
too
be able
much.
to do that with an axe?
He kind of like, he goes like this, and like 2 or 3 people come over with like brooms and things. He's like, I will clean this up, but you must leave. I think you must leave. And Caldecan like is like, what? You just give us a moment. Just give us a moment. And he pulls out a purse and just like hands it over. And Eludi like opens it up, and his face goes, okay, yes, take your time.
I just want to try to. I
to
want
be paid.
I want to try to go ahead and actually ask the rest of the group. I don't know if I can do this myself or not in terms of perception, but did anybody remember if he had this coffee on him before we came in?
Well, that's a good question. Where did the coffee come from?
Yeah, he had it at the table the entire time.
Okay.
But it was full. And if you recall, he was kind of gesturing with it as he was talking and hadn't taken a sip yet or anything like that.
Yeah, I remember he gestured with it, but so I thought he had it. And was there anyone else in the room besides him?
I mean, this room is full.
All right, so it was like in the back. It was in the back of a room,
Yes.
a large room.
Yes.
So
That's
did
okay.
somebody come like really close to him during the whole ordeal?
Nope.
I'd like to take a look. First off, Helen, did you get your little sample there? I saw
Yes.
that you were playing with the glass vials. Okay.
Yeah. Do I have like a vial of poison now?
You have like an eighth a vial of poison.
I'll take it.
I just wanted to go ahead and actually like investigate the mug and see if there's any residue of some kind of like powder or discoloration on it that shouldn't be there.
It smells.
I don't know anything about poison, but
give me a perception check, actually.
Oh God, you would
I
ask for.
want to try.
Oh, natural 20.
It smells. It smells extremely bitter, like far more bitter than any coffee could be. And you recall, of course, he said, "Ugh,
Oh yeah, I've been
bitter.
to Starbucks.
no, that's burned."
Careful. That's a tangent that'll take 40 minutes to resolve.
Fair.
Yeah, I think that. So I'll mention that to the group there. I'll be like, yeah, this smells almost as bitter as Chop Tank. So,
I'm telling you too much. Goodbye.
Okay, so
but it's
now what?
this is not naturally bitter. You know, I'm not a coffee drinker, but this is not.
I would like to inspect.
Oh,
the
wait a
body.
minute. Wait a minute. What was it? Don't tell me.
Oh,
This.
I think it's arsenic. Is
So-
that the bitter one?
Iocane. I bet my life
that one
on it.
tastes like almonds.
Almonds.
Yeah.
Since Helen has a poisoner's kit, I will allow Helen to make an investigation, and we'll say it's advantaged for funsies
Ooh,
if you want to
that's a
determine
good
what poison
thing.
it is.
Wow, I somehow rolled the same crappy roll twice.
Wait, actually, just out of curiosity, with this might be with the advantage. I'm just asking from the house rules from you, Andrew. Is that how does it work when you're trying to aid someone? Like if I wanted to try to
Just
aid,
it gives
Helen.
advantage.
It is the advantage. Okay, got it.
So despite all of your help, I can only muster an 11.
You do not know what type of poison this is, but it works very quickly.
This is poison. Darling, it works very quickly, as you saw.
All right.
Okay. Can I?
And as we all know, poison is a woman's weapon.
It's the old times. Nobody's woke back in D&D.
I've seen Perot episodes. I know it's true.
So Andrew, while the purveyor was coming over, the owner of the establishment, did anybody try and sneak away? Did we notice anybody like try and slip out the back somehow?
No movement at all. People are still really drunk and really stoned.
So
So we-
Leprechaun, what are you thinking?
I think we will need to find someone else to provide the powder.
Oh, darling, we can go get it ourselves.
I'm
No
just.
way.
Well, do you know
I
where
would.
to go?
I would ask Cal if he knows. I'm sure there's someone out there who was probably a rival of this guy who might want him dead.
Caldecan. I am not referred to as Cal. I am Caldecan.
He actually called you
before-
Cal there.
It's never referred to me as Cal.
I'm willing to bet that the bar that we passed by, there would be somebody there that would know where to get this powder. However, I'm curious if the owner of this establishment knows who prepared the coffee.
Eludi comes back. He's like, "You're still here. I mean,
Yeah.
you pay me well, but listen, like, the guards will come. Some people have already.
Then bring them.
There's the guard.
No,
They're going
I
to be
know.
here. They're going to be here. So if you do not want to be found, I would recommend that door over there, and leaving. And
Which door is he pointing to?
just another one of like, there's many doors that clearly lead to all sorts of alleyways, and he points to one that's relatively nearby.
Okay.
I'd
All
say
where was all the drinks being served from? There was actually a bar there? Is that right?
Yeah, there's like a center bar. Caldecan says, "Wait. How will we find my powder now?" You don't understand.
That's that?
We are
Say, darling, he told us the East Road, past the three trees, a bridge of howling and mist and sorrow. Bubbity boop, there we are. Sure, we'll take it out.
And perhaps you should check the body to see if there's any other information.
I am never going to get my promotion.
Also, we have an excellent map maker with us. I'm sure that based on the incredible description that Helen gave.
Oh, map, yeah. I turned to Helen. What was that again? The tree and the bridge and
That's the
Look,
invisible
how well we walk.
swordsman.
turn
I'm
in the
going-
bush.
I'm gonna search the body,
Okay, yeah.
or if there's any
The
solid
remnants.
bits left.
Yeah.
I'm gonna search through them, and if I find anything interesting, I'm going to pocket it as cleanly as possible without what's his face seeing them.
Investigation, sleight of hand.
Hey, there's an 11 in investigation. That's not that bad. And wow, that's the worst I could possibly roll and not roll a 1.
A 2?
Yeah, 9 for sleight of hand.
Yeah, so everybody sees you.
Level 1.
Oh,
But you totally are like, look, I'm pocketing. Look, it's hidden.
Oh, I see. It's like a meta thing where you're pretending to actually be good at something to throw people off. That's pretty smart.
But yeah, you find three
Nice, Jill.
three gold pieces, and 5 silver pieces and a copper piece.
Alright.
And you find a piece of parchment that yes, a piece of parchment. So exciting. With a receipt for docking, like a dock receipt for docking the ship.
Oh,
okay.
well, that's a good place to start.
And it has like a port number on it, like a
I
a
leave
peer
the
number.
coins. I leave the coins. Pick up the piece of paper
Parchment.
and share it with my colleagues to see if they can figure anything else about it.
And you find some tobacco and a pipe.
When he drops the coins, I just go pick them up.
If we can find
Yeah.
the dock, we can find a boat.
How much was it again?
I think it was like 5 gold, 3 silver, 2 copper.
3 gold,
3 gold.
357, I think was the number.
3, 5, 7.
Yeah.
All right.
So I talked to or ask our. Oh, sorry, Nick.
I just wiped the pipe and the tobacco.
So
Already looting dead bodies.
I know this is what D&D's all about.
My God, right? Like, come on.
We are a bunch of swarthy adventurers ready to take on the world. We don't
I
try
am
to pull
not
with nice
swarthy.
You are swarthy and delightful.
I am delightful. That is true.
Loot crates. We were like, everything's wonderful. Hey, prestidigitation, your life is great. This day's going to be great. And then the body explodes in us. All right, well, we might as well just loot the thing.
Yeah.
Listen, we must.
I like to think that my character does this with a touch of grace and elegance. I'm just saying. But I turn to our dude and I say, "Darling, it's time for us to renegotiate our terms."
And he kind of looks around. He's like, "Yes, fine, but bring the chests."
Bring the chests.
Boys, tally ho.
We can't leave valuable magic items like these around. Come,
Ooh, magic items. I like that idea.
All
let's
right,
let us.
50 pounds of magic.
Did you tell Cal that you found the slip note or no?
I just shared it.
Like
broadly.
you shared it,
Everybody
brother?
saw that.
He says, "Let's see if Duldy's first mate knows where the powder is."
Yeah. As we go, I'm going to use prestidigitation to put up on the wall. The management is not responsible for exploding stomachs.
People are
The
like.
instant exploding person.
People have come out of their highs a little bit and they're starting to notice, and you see like a couple of them like leave, and you can hear like them mentioning the guards. Is that we're all leaving? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I think it's time to go. It feels about right.
So you slip out the back, and it's just an alleyway, and it leads back to the market.
Andrew, on the way out, is there any way we can just sort of take a glance at like where the coffee came from? Like, is there a kitchen, an espresso machine?
There's like a central bar, and it's made in these very small like copper kettles, and they're made one
Can I just take a-
off.
Can I take a quick glance and see if I can divine anything as to what the hell happened? Like how, like a little bottle next to it that says XXX on it, maybe? You know, something
You're like
that.
gonna reach over and like grab one and be like,
Yeah.
okay, so give me a perception check.
That's better. 25.
What are we rolling for?
No, just
he's
Corey.
just-
He's just being
Just
weirdo.
Like
Sorry,
glancing.
Sheik, Helen. So Helen reaches over and kind of grabs one of the copper kettles and like immediately pulls it to her nose. No, it's not that bitter. It's not nowhere near as bitter as the as the
coffee
poison,
that he was
the poison was.
So it was added. Fascinating. I share these insights at some point on our walk. That's all.
Okay.
You gonna help with this damn chest?
Definitely not. You're doing great, though.
Dude, I'm a
Hello,
half.
darling.
Yeah, that's a halfling, you know.
And so
Paladin, where are
strong.
we carrying this chest?
I
Right
don't
in
know where you put all that muscle, darling.
As we walk away, the
tiny
third
ox.
chest that Helen and I are not carrying, I just point to Colican and I say, "Hey, lad, don't forget this."
He kind of looks at he's like, that's what I'm paying you for.
It is true.
Oh, that egg just went way up.
You and your money. And he pulls out a platinum piece. He's like, is this what you want?
It's a start.
You know, as a monk, are you sure you're not a member of the Way of the Open Market?
Yeah. Good.
Tell us about this way of the open
Soft
market.
pitch.
He kind of like puts it back in his pocket. He says, there will be plenty once I have my powder. Come now. So are you going straight to
I'm
the
wait-
slip?
I'm
think we-
waiting.
I think we need to
I'm
get
gonna
out.
wait.
I'm waiting too,
I'm gonna go ahead
yeah.
and leave. If he wants to wait there with the chest, that's fine. But
Yeah.
I want to get on with it. So
All right.
Same here.
I say, darling, there'll be time to negotiate. Don't worry. And I sort of pat my rapier at my side.
So I'm gonna wait for 5 seconds while Helen is trying to pick up that box and pulling on her own with. a
Oh, I'm
little
not picking
halfling
that up.
arm.
Are you kidding? No. I'm helping your cause, but I'm not touching.
and see,
that.
yeah, the two of you. That's the thing. The two of you are refusing to pick up the last chest, which is what's so amusing. So-
And he
said-
I'm
Is
a
the chest
49-year-old lady. Come on, guys. Dame Helen Odessir does not carry chests.
he looks back. He's like, that chest is worth more than your life. Come on. And keeps going.
So he keeps going. Okay, I try to fiddle with the chest to see if I can open it.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm away, so if it explodes, I don't care.
Yeah, same here.
As I see him doing that, I say, Morris, Sue, let's go. I'll get you a beer on the way out, and I go get him 2 beers.
Are you going to try to pick the lock?
That's what he said.
I don't know how to
Yeah,
pick a
He
lock.
said he's trying to. He said he's trying to open it. So.
I think he said he was poking it. I said I was getting him some beers.
I don't know how to pick a lock. I just try to open it. That's it.
Well, it's locked.
Okay, then that doesn't work. So
Okay.
Oh man.
You don't die, so that's
You're
good.
Don't back out now.
I
Come
mean,
on, all the way.
D&D.
All the way.
Here you go, darling. Lick
I
the
don't have
inspiration.
tools or anything, you know.
Here's a
Okay.
tool.
So those of you who have followed on, you find your way to the slip.
We're all, Morris. We've caught up with them, right? After some
Sure.
consternation and drinking.
Okay, it takes you about, a little bit of time to go and find the ship, but you do see a Creteo flag, a Salt Island flag sailing on this, or flapping on the mast of this ship made out of very dark wood, and you recognize it again as that same ironwood. And this is a very expensive ship, and it is a warship, but it's a very small ship. It's a sloop, but it's meant for war. Clearly, it has swivel guns, it has cannon on it, and you see like a crew that's moving around. And while there is they're wearing almost pirate-esque garb, they're all moving with military precision. Oh wait, I lied. Shit. Sorry.
Well, it doesn't matter because
Sorry.
as we get up to the ship, I am going to pull our dude aside, and I say, darling, we've cleared the bar. Our friend Morris here is getting drunker by the minute. Now is the time to renegotiate our terms. And I look at him with dagger eyes, which means I will stab him with my dagger if we don't.
So, real quick.
I can't do them. I wouldn't do that.
Slight rollback on my description. This is what happens when you're talking and you don't look at your notes for a second. Sorry, you don't see anybody on the ship.
All right,
Oh,
I definitely
okay.
stop him before we get to the ship.
All right.
It's the opposite. Yes,
Completely empty ship.
what do you want? He's like
I
so
want
annoyed with your
terms,
money.
darling.
What? Begin the negotiations, but let's hurry.
What did we agree on already? I'm out of game. What did we agree on already?
You've been
It
getting
was 2 golds a week.
2 gold a week,
Yeah.
and it's been 4 weeks, so you've already been paid 8 gold. You'll get paid 8 gold for the return trip, and then you're going to get another 16 gold on arrival. So 32
So,
gold total.
Fair wages for fair work.
Yeah, but that was just guard duty. Now we're gonna have to do like a whole mission, right?
Yes. So, I kind of like take a look at everybody, and I sort of say to myself, well, let's see, how much do we think this is worth for you? And I ask the question hypothetically, but I'm also asking everybody else in the party. Do I have any idea, like, what kind of revenue he can generate from this deal? Like, do I get a sense of like what this is worth to him?
Well, my character will probably be able to fill Helen in on that in terms of, and she's not doing it in terms of like being sneaky. She'd be like, oh, I love to share information. Oh, that stuff is worth a fortune. That's like so rare. It's so incredibly hard to get a hold of. It's like, my God, you know, like kings could be ransomed for just one of those pouches, and he's gonna get a whole bunch of it.
Darling, this is fabulous.
He looks at all of you.
1,000 gold per person.
He looks at all of you and he says, leave. Now. I don't need any of you. Leave the boxes and go. I'm sick of this. He says, we just left a whole room full of people who could do a better job than all of you and could actually carry the boxes instead of dropping them constantly.
Let's see what happens. And let's literally leave him there with his boxes alone and just like back away. You know?
All right, so
He takes out a couple of platinum pieces and starts waving them at other people. And you see like literally like brawny looking tattooed sailors stop and walk over, and he starts talking to them.
all right,
You're just gonna get mugged, you dummy!
I say, darling, there's no need for theatrics. You'll make it 100 gold each, and we get a full share of the take from anything we find.
And he looks back at you. He's like, absolutely not! He kind of shouts that across the thing. And you see, like, he's like, first I will need you to take care of them. And he points the sailors to you guys.
Okay,
And
so
one
I
of them,
look
like,
at him
cracks
and
his
I-
knuckles.
Listen, I look at him and I say, you're gonna pay us this money, otherwise and I start raising my voice and I say, we're just gonna leave you here with your boxes of expensive magic items.
All right.
With
as a reaction
nobody
to
to
that,
guard
I would like
you.
to get my shield and my axe ready because I see where this is going.
So from his sleeve drops a wand. And it crackles with energy.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of like holds it, and you see electricity burst through his eyes. He says, I didn't want to have to do this.
I said, darling, you don't. We've given you reasonable terms. Let's get on our way.
He says, and he looks at the sailors, he's like, I'll give you each 50 extra gold on top of what you're already getting, and the negotiations are done, or this is done.
And the share of what we find?
Absolutely not.
No, you get your stupid powder, but we keep everything else.
What was that? Can you hear you?
You get your stupid powder, but we keep everything else we find.
He kind of like looks confused. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever else we find.
Okay, very good. Tally-ho.
So how long are we gonna carry these boxes then?
We should just have to bring them to the ship, and they'll take them and give us the powder, or bring us to the powder, or some such thing. Can we stop dilly-dallying?
Oh, very good, shall we? That's on our way.
Okay, have we all negotiated satisfactorily?
Don't we
I
have?
don't know, humans. Have we negotiated satisfactorily?
Oh, I'm very satisfactory.
So the question I have for the party is, don't we have like a charismatic character who should be doing the talking for all of us?
Did you not hear my accent?
It's the
I'm
angry
British.
Dwarf.
I'm not the bard anymore, you know?
Well, Maladroit actually she's got a 17 charisma, but she doesn't care about money. So you're talking to the wrong person.
My character doesn't have great charisma and is not terribly thoughtful. A little bit rough around the edges, so probably not the
Has a
party's
16
spokesman.
charisma.
Yeah.
Also does not.
The
care
other
about
thing to
money.
remember is you're not that special. Like, you're not that special. He's in a port. He could hire 100.
Hard truths delivered in D&D.
He could hire 100 of you.
That's fair. But he did agree to give us double what we were making.
Yeah, because he's like completely annoyed by you.
Exactly.
It's more than double. It's 50.
It's a value proposition. That is true.
So now you're gonna get
We are now loyal to the cause again.
86 gold total.
For level 1, that's like
It's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is a lot.
That's like a year's worth of
Okay,
salary.
so
If you survive.
lead the way. Lead the way. This is taking so long.
All right.
This is what happens when you play games with producers.
So the ship has the plank already down, and he like just walks aboard as if he owns the ship, and he stops. He's like, "Where is everybody?"
This is the ship we came from?
No, this is the Cretaean ship.
Oh, the other one. Okay, all right. Does it? Oh, I'll nudge Childara and Chop Tank and say, "Hey, remember this? At least this one's still floating." So-
Hey, maybe they went out for coffee.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm putting this chest down. This is where you want it, right?
Yes, yes,
so let's go.
that's fine. Put it right there.
So yeah, start knocking on some doors. Hello? Hey, anyone here? We got some chests here.
Okay, so are you going below decks?
Starting like I'm assuming like if we're still on the main
go?
deck, I would start with any doors that are there.
There's just doors that like lead below decks on the main deck. You
Well,
can walk up
you-
some stairs to like the forecastle and the rear castle.
Yeah.
Kind of. They're not actually castle because it's a sloop, but whatever the
Sure,
fore and
but
aft are
I
called.
would check. I'm not sure the others. I would want to check the top first and then work the way down.
Once these guys check the top, I will sort of stealthily. I obviously let them know that I'm going down and to follow me. And I sneak down and give a listen and see if there's anything to see.
Okay, we'll start with Maladroit. Looking over, there's not really anything you see. Can you give me just a quick investigation?
I sure can, and I got my light on now. So, God, I'm running so poorly today. How about a 11?
You don't really find anything. In fact, it's unusual. There's coiled rope. You find like a hand axe, things of the ship, but there's no sign of anybody there, and there's no sign of like a struggle or anything like that above ship. Helen, you're going just like down the stairs like a little bit and listening.
I'm going to sneak as soon as I can find some shadows. I'm going to sneak in the shadows and assume there's all kinds of horrible danger ahead, and listen for said danger. And if I don't find said danger, proceed.
So yeah, like
explore.
if you've ever been on one of these older ships before, like you can kind of like it's not really stairs that are encased. It's kind of like a ladder at an angle, and so you kind of can like go down it a little bit, but then you'll be hanging out below deck. That makes sense?
Yeah. Yep.
So you just like bopping your head down?
No, I'm climbing down,
Okay.
and I kind of motion for everybody to follow me, but as soon as I can get down into some sort of shadow, I want to hide.
I mean, so you get like, as soon as your nose gets below deck, you smell the stench of death.
Okay. Something died down here.
All right, guess I'm
Is it-
carrying this
is-
crate somewhere else then.
Is there lights on down there, or is it all dark?
Yeah, no, there are lanterns that are lit, but Helen, you immediately see. So this below deck section has hammocks that are hung everywhere, and this is clearly, that's normal affair, right? Everybody would be down here hanging out and whatnot, and the hammocks are occupied, and the occupants of the hammocks have their necks slit open and blood pouring out into pools. In fact, you notice this first because as soon as you step on the deck, you almost slip in the blood. And your hand is slick with blood because there is blood all on the handrails, and it's a gore fest.
Oh, darling, this is the second most disgusting thing I've seen today.
Give me a perception check.
She's talking about the bathroom too, not the other thing.
The guts.
21.
Right.
Oh wow, that's great.
That's awesome.
You hear moaning from the aft of the ship on this deck.
I yell for crap names.
Line.
I said, Kildare. It's Kildare? Childera?
Yeah. So,
Chidera.
Kildare. Kildare, darling. Someone needs your help. Let's go.
all right.
Dive on.
Real sneaky there, Rogue. Nice job.
Really, everyone's either dead or mostly dead. Now is the time for Caldera to get in there.
Come on, guys. Let's come below. See who's
Are we
there.
all going down?
I'm going to draw
All right.
my crossbow
I'll
and
go down.
cover him while he administers aid.
Right, so the rest of you see this all around you. It's there. I mean, necks are slit, but there's also some disembowelment. Some intestine hanging out. Someone's stomach is on the floor. It's very vicious, and just quickly at a glance, you can see that these aren't necessarily all from blades, right? They don't all have that clean cut of a blade. Some of them look almost a little more vicious with skin hanging off, and tracheas are exposed. One guy has his eye hanging out of his socket as he's kind of like swinging back and forth in the hammock. Are you all going to the moaning, or?
I actually wanted to, I don't know how long this would take, but I was kind of curious if I could do an investigation to see if this was one thing or multiple things.
Give me an investigation then.
All right, come on, treat me nice here. All right, that's better. That's a 15.
Ooh, okay. So what you find is I mean, this looks like it is an event, right? These people were killed while they were relaxing. Some of them who are not in their hammocks, you can deduce, were killed while there. Clearly something drew them all down into the ship, because there should have been ones up above, right? And there's no sign of blood up above either. You find a purple handprint, and it triggers a memory in your mind from a couple of months ago. But you see this purple handprint just kind of like blazoned on one of the walls. And you find these odd tracks in the blood, and they almost make like a shape like this. They oddly remind
I can't
you
see
of
on
like
the video, so I'll have to.
Sorry,
go over
they
here.
oddly remind you.
I see it now.
Yeah, of like almost as if birds were down here or something, but there are no birds down here, and it would be an awfully large bird.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Dinosaurs.
I will inform the rest of the compatriots of this.
I assume that we are first aiding the shit out of this body.
Right.
at this
So
point.
Yeah, I would like to go to the moaning.
at the aft of the ship, you find one of the sailors, and he's clutching his throat, and you can see that he is not cut anywhere, but black veins have worked their way all across his face.
Snap, he had the coffee.
He's just holding his throat, and he's like, "Help me. Help me."
I will try a cure wounds.
By the way, that was
wait.
a good voice
No,
right there.
you
That
wanna go, Nick?
was a nice shift.
I mean, up to you.
What did Nick
Yeah.
Smolny say?
Said it was up to me. I can try to cure him.
I mean, I had called Caldera specifically, so I would assume
Oh,
he was
okay.
there
Then-
first. I mean,
Childera.
Childera.
Caldera.
Caldera is where a
Caldera,
volcano, yeah.
like a storm or something.
Cast cure wounds on him and see what happens.
Cure okay.
You see like some of the veins begin to recede. He's like, but he still looks really ill. Like maybe he's poisoned, and
Yeah.
What happened to you?
there were a lot of them. I don't exactly know. There was squawking sounds and flashes of things, and he kind of holds out his hand, which has been clenched in a fist, and opens it, and there's a feather, a black feather. I don't know what they were.
Anybody familiar with nature?
No.
He looks in really bad shape, by the way. Still, like his skin
Someone-
is pale, and his veins
does anyone
are
have
throbbing.
like a cure, like poison or neutralize poison, something like that?
I could stab him.
That would probably end the problem. Yeah,
That is
I can't argue with the
one
I can't argue with the
solution.
logic.
I can give him funeral rights.
Okay, well, we
Can
got
you
this
marry
covered.
him?
You
Maybe
stab
he wants to be
him.
married.
Funeral rights. I can burn the body. We're all good.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah, we got this covered.
That's
I mean, I
say,
could
was
no
it-
way to go.
I could stabilize a creature that's at 0 hit points, but
He kind of reaches over to you and pulls you close. He's like, "You have to find the captain. You have to find the captain and let him know what's happened here."
Where is he?
isn't the captain the guy we just saw get his
Yes,
bowels?
the captain is.
Oh, that's
Is-
right.
is that
that's
one.
right.
Yeah.
So,
What do you want to
Andrew-
tell him?
Andrew,
What's up?
from looking at this guy, does he look like beyond help?
Well, let's
based on-
use some basic deductive reasoning. He clearly looks poisoned. He's been healed some, but he's still poisoned.
Yep.
And he's getting worse. He's not just stabilized. He's getting
So he like
worse.
got a little better and brightened up, and he's able to talk. But you see those veins like slowly coming back and working.
He's
up.
still getting poisoned, so they're.
So,
Yeah.
and we don't have anything. And I look around and can you do something, lads?
I could keep curing him, but I don't think this is going to end well
So
for him. What did you? I asked him. What did you drink or eat
It
that made you this way?
It was I didn't drink or eat anything, and he He kind of shows you his arm, and there's a bite mark in it.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
But it looks like it's almost like a V shaped. Yeah, like a beak or something, maybe.
Yeah. To go with the bird feet.
I yell to. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, we can't leave him to suffer like this. So I just try to motion to Helen, like, kind of get behind him, and I take one of my water skins that has booze in it, like my wine skin, and then basically just give it to him, like, here, this will make you feel better. And while he's drinking, I tell Helen, like,
wait.
You know,
And you see, like, your patron kind of wading through the blood. He's like, ask him about the powder. He's like, he's the only one alive. We must find the powder. Veins popping.
This spawn is really annoying me.
Did they take the powder?
The powder's never here. He drinks deeply again. He's like, we have to go get it in the mountains. And he kind of tries to stand up for a moment, and you see him like go, ooh. Like he's really lightheaded and just kind of come back down. It's in the mountains.
Just out of curiosity, does anyone happen to have a good, like, medicine skill? Would that be something that would help out? Like, we've got some alcohol. Like, I don't know if you could put something together from that.
Yeah,
Give it a try, but my
Actually,
solution to the most problems is cutting off a limb.
Herbalism kit. You would need someone proficient with herbalism kit.
I could poison him more.
And you don't have any neutralized poisons in your poison kit.
Ooh, that's a good question. Do I have any anti-venom?
No.
No, that's herbalism.
Make it, they make it. Okay.
I was suggesting we put him out of his misery, so that we can go gracefully.
Yeah,
Before
totally.
we went that, I just wondered if there's maybe something somebody could do with the medicine. That's all.
Did we see, or I guess like common sense, based on what we've seen, would we have any inclination to believe there is a healer's, a temple,
like a
a
medic
healing
somewhere
god
near.
nearby, an infirmary, like some place we could take him to try to save his ass?
Give me a medicine check real quick. Who has the highest medicine right now?
Not me.
Yeah, Childera, give me a medicine check real quick.
If by medicine you mean stabbing.
9.
9? He might be healthy, you're not certain. No, I'm joking. Come on, I'm joking. He's gonna die. The guy's gonna die.
So before he bleeds out, can we ask him, like, tell us how to get to the mountains? Is there a map? Like, how do we get there?
And you're right next to him.
Point to the big thing in the back.
I say, darling, we'll finish this, and we'll cut you in. All you have to do is take a big drink and tell us what
cut
to do.
you in.
That's not what I...
Listen, promise me something. And he pulls you close.
Anything.
I'm not Cretaean. I'm listen, but my wife, she's back on Cretea. You have to tell her that her husband loved her. And she's all I thought about in my last moments.
I take one of my sheets of papers from my map kit, and what's your name, lad?
Thoros.
What's your wife's name?
Helen.
Where does she live?
He gives you a village in Cretea. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, all right.
And he looks at. He says,
What address? Zip code?
"Just give you the email."
No, but anyway, I basically ask him as much information as possible, and I tell him, like, listen, I've traveled a lot, and I'll be happy to travel there and let her know.
Thank you.
You rest in peace, lad.
Thank you. And you can see that he's getting extremely weak at this point, and he pulls Childera even closer, and he has that death grip. He's like pulling you, like you're not gonna get out of this. Terrible breath. And he says to you, you have to find Ilian. Ilian knows how to get there. But
Who's Ilian?
He's a guide, a mountain guide. He'll tell you how to find it. He'll bring you. But I warn you, he's a little crazy. But you'll find him. You'll find him at the Beaten Horse Tavern.
All right.
Oh.
Alright, I say, very good, darling, very good. All right, time for you to rest now.
And he dies. There's
Okay.
It's very like you don't see much pain. He just slowly dies.
My character puts her dagger away. Don't need that. All right.
Well, that was
Back
dramatic.
to the beach and hose.
Yeah, the music's quite fitting too.
Back to the beach and hose, boys.
I'm gonna Purell like the lip of my wineskin.
Oh, I can clean that for if you want.
Yeah, thank you. You know.
Chop Tank, would you do me?
Sure.
Chop Tank, would you do me a favor? Could you
Sure.
get a last rites to these folks in here? Just kind of like send them on their way.
I like that.
Yes, I will take a moment to pray to Ilian that these poor sailors died in battle, and may their souls go on.
Well, that was really touching.
Damn.
Bro.
Holy shit. I felt something there.
Excellent.
And
Come
you
here.
you guys are probably surprised by this, but Morris is actually very, very respectful in this moment.
I actually did notice that.
I'm gonna give inspiration to Morris and Chop Tank.
Oh.
Okay.
Awesome.
On that note, your patron says, "All right. Well, this was very exciting. He looks at he kind of like thinks. You can see him thinking. He's like, I guess we could leave the chests here for now. No one will mess with them, right?
May I make a suggestion that we bring them below decks?
Wouldn't do that.
Fine. Do that, and we must just find this powder soon. There's only so much time before these storms come, and I really didn't plan for this.
That's okay. It's what makes life exciting.
All right, I'll take care of schlepping these things down the stairs. Down to
Wait,
decks
are
while
we
you guys
locking
get
these
ready.
up?
They
Is there a
don't.
place to lock them up?
They don't need to be locked. As soon as you bring them down, he walks over, and you see him like touch a couple of the runes, and they glow, and you see just all of a sudden like this burst of energy across them. He's like, "That'll take care of it."
That looks so beautiful.
All right.
So with all your
Indeed.
fancy magic, couldn't you have something that makes them walk so we don't have to carry the damn things?
You want me to grant semi-consciousness capabilities to make these multi-bipedal or quadrupedal?
I say, darling.
Well, when you say it like that,
These are made out of
Darling, you gotta
entirely
have
the wrong kind of wood for that.
I say, well, off to the lazy horde. No, that's not what it was.
The beaten horse.
That's what it was. Sorry, darling. I can't keep my horse straight. Say, Morris, I'm
The
going
beaten
to need
horse,
your
the-
wineskin.
I'm
beaten
sure there's a
horse-
place called that somewhere around here.
Fair evaluation. Okay, so it's not very far, but it is. Darkness is beginning to fall at this point, and so the lights are beginning to pop on. It's dusk though. We're not at actual darkness yet. The skies turned red skies at night, sailor's delight, and large thick clouds have come in, but they're not really warning of storms or anything like that. It's more just thick clouds that generally come in, and you can feel a coolness in the air as the breeze from the sea is intensifying and it's whipping around your clothing, but not overly dramatically. And you see a horse on you see a placard with a horse on it, and the horse is bleeding profusely in the imagery, and under it in common you can see the beaten horse is written. And it's a proper inn. It's not like all the establishments that you've been going through before, which are a little bit more dingy and dirty. You can hear music coming from inside. The windows are open, and you see long tables, and you can smell already spices and food and drink, and hear laughter.
I heard good things about this place.
Yes.
Like what?
The booze is good.
Yeah,
Ron
my
was rather
character.
tipsy.
I boldly stride in, grab a table, and get these gentlemen and lady. Wait, one lady? Yeah.
We have two ladies here.
We have two ladies. Some actual fucking gin martinis. And we sit and we have a proper fucking drink. But I don't talk like that.
You don't necessarily
Well-
find gin, but you find something else that's equally
Close
kind
enough.
of like has that herbaceousness to it.
elven fancy
I'll-
herbish stuff.
Maladroit doesn't drink, thank you.
I'll have their finest mead.
Yep, there's definitely some of that.
Come on, people. You gotta indulge the secret agent thing a little bit.
Secret agent thing.
Come on.
Well, I'm-
I'm an international super
So-
spy.
Oh, I'm definitely going to have some ale.
wait, when you pour the drinks around, I basically take the drink in front of Maladroit and I just like keep it in front of me. I'll drink for you
That's
last night.
there we go. There we go. That's the flavor I was looking for.
All right. Whichever one of you is best at this sort of thing, find this individual so we can get on with it and get
I
out of here.
definitely also get that guy a drink.
What was the
One person
name of
needs
the
a drink
individual
for
we
that
were
guy.
looking for?
It was Ilian.
Iliam.
Scream out his name.
I was about to jump up on the table and do
Oh,
exactly
wait,
that.
hang on. So the reason I bought all that was that now I can go back to the guy who I just paid a bunch of money to for the fancy drinks and say, excuse me, doll. We're looking for someone named Ilian. He's an old friend or perhaps a new acquaintance.
Ah, you're looking for Ilian? Is that what you said? He's right over there, and points to a corner, and you see a man sitting alone, facing his own vomit.
Oh gosh.
And there's like a knocked over like cup with what looks like some type of alcohol.
Oh, yeah, not coffee.
And no, some type of coffee. Some type of alcohol. And there's like a what looks to be like a really long cigarette with purple smoke coming out of it, just like set at the edge of the table so that the embers fall down.
Are his intestines still inside?
Oh, he looks just, drunk as a skunk.
Oh, that's excellent. That is
Okay.
such an improvement over the people we've been dealing with.
He's not quite dead yet.
Things are looking up, guys.
I can cure this.
Maladroit, would you mind,
Can you be a little specific, please?
clean up the buff? He's everywhere. I can't look at buff. I stopped buffing myself.
Oh, well, let's see. It's covering pretty much everything, so I guess I'll have to hit the table first, and then before she does that, she's going to use prestidigitation to basically do a flow chart to make sure that she's got, like, all right, this first, then that. All right, got it. All set. So after, if you don't mind waiting for a couple minutes, as she figures it out, then she'll start cleaning up the place.
You get inspiration too.
To sober this guy up, we should get him some coffee.
Careful. I wouldn't trust coffee.
That's a great idea. Bring your own cup.
Okay, so you go up to him and he's still in his own vomit, I'm assuming, or have we cleaned this vomit?
No, I think they give me some time for Maladroit to clean the table, clean his clothes, clean the mug, because basically it's like one object at a time.
He kind of like
One
lifts his.
cubic foot of vomit for 6 seconds.
I love it. It's a lot of vomit. He kind of like looks at me. Hello. And he has a very long, unkept, dirty beard. He smells of piss. Let's be frank. He smells of piss. And he just kind of
Now smells like roses.
And he's looking at you. He's like, "Hello, can you? I don't know who you are, but and he picks up the long cigarette and goes, I don't know who the 10 of you are. 20? But would you buy me a drink?
Sure. What do
Absolutely,
you-
darling.
Where do you
But
have it?
first, we have some questions.
I think it's called horse piss.
Horse piss? Alright, I'm gonna go to the bar to see if I can figure out what that is.
You see
Matches
them.
the
You see
theme.
them like reach really low, and they're like, "You want some horse piss? Are you sure?
I
You look like a
motion-
nice
I motion
fellow.
over.
I don't know if I want to give you horse piss."
Somebody ordered that. I don't know. What is it?
He
I
kind
motion
of
over. I'm like,
That's blue ribbon.
he pulls it out and he's like,
yeah.
"Well, just
PPR.
take a smell real quick." And it smells like horse piss,
Okay.
but with like
so,
copious amounts of alcohol.
Wow, you didn't even have to do a perception
Okay.
check for that.
So I'll have one horse piss and one more meat.
All right, so he pours you a meat. He's like, "I would not use the horse piss as a chaser for this, but."
Jeez,
And he pours it, and he pours you like a whole cup of it, and he's like, "Be careful with that."
It's not for me.
And is this? Wait, am I just out of curiosity? Am I seeing this right? Are you actually not interested in trying a new alcoholic beverage?
Oh, it's true.
He said it actually smells like horse piss.
I mean,
it's
if he's a
alcohol.
proper drunk, he's got
curious.
his flavors that he likes.
I have been trained in monasteries and the finest traditions of brew makers. I will not be drinking horse piss. Why do you think I'm trying to make money? So I can buy armor and weapons? No, good booze.
It's a fair point. That's a fair point. I start chatting up this guy like, I could really go for a horse piss right now too.
Are
But-
you chatting up Ilian?
Yes.
So I bring this back to the table.
But
by the way,
and I, as you're walking over, I'm kind of like behind my back, like get away. I'm like, but darling, wait, who has the highest charisma in the group? I forget. I'm sorry. It's Chop
I've got a
Tank?
7. I've got a 17.
16.
I say,
actually,
darling, my
believe it
friends
or
have-
not, Morris is 14. So
That's pretty good. I say, darling, my friends have a few questions for you, and we're just going to have to answer them.
I have friends with a few questions for you. That's nice.
I'm not the most charismatic, but
This,
I'm gonna set you guys up.
what you all here for? What's so important?
Well, here's the deal, and she'll pull up a chair. I don't know if anyone wants to sit down next to her. So there's this really neat thing that happened earlier today that I won't get in details to because it's kind of disgusting and I just cleaned you up. But the point of it is that we are looking for a guide, and we were told that you are great at that. That you can find mountains really, really well. So we're looking for a specific trail to the mountains, and she'll turn and ask, does anybody remember exactly where in the mountains we're supposed to be going? I didn't write this stuff down.
The Bridge of the Howling and Mist and Sorrow.
Yeah, those places right there.
I think I have a map somewhere.
Trees.
What was the
Oh,
dude's
that's
name?
right. You need to check out our map maker. He is awesome at this stuff.
What was the guy's name? The one who took the parchment paper.
And I pull out a map of the island. It says nothing at all about this on it.
It's like
I
a
think it's
smiling
somewhere
face
around
with arrows.
You want me to bring you to where they get that stuff?
Yeah, the powder, the really good stuff, the clean stuff that's pure, that's not cut yet.
I mean, I think I can bring you there. I remember most of the steps, but why would you want to go through such a horrible thing?
Why wouldn't we?
Because the humans just negotiated our way into this deal.
Yeah.
Welcome, doll.
They've only ever let me go so far. It's weird. You'd think the locals like me would be allowed to figure out what it is they get this powder, but the foreigners, they all control it.
The farmers control it?
The foreigners.
Foreigners.
Oh, the foreigners
like
control
us.
it. Sorry.
None of us like to go there. It's, the woods, the mountains, they are haunted by creatures that are dark and horrible.
Oh, well, let me tell you about Haunted Woods. Now, see, we actually had a little adventure a little while ago where we ran into some haunted woods and twigs and needles. And this big guy here, he was fallen by a twig. And this guy over here, he was knocked over by a pine needle. So we know what we're doing when we go into these kind of haunted woods. So we're good. Trust me on this. We're good.
He pulls a small toad out of his pocket, okay, and he licks it, and then puts it back in his pocket, and his eyes go. He's like, pay my bar tab and we go. I will bring you there, but you will need climbing equipment.
All right.
Climbing.
Follow that. You clearly have platinum.
All right,
If you want
darling.
this powder, it might be time to pay up for the bar tab.
Off we
Is
go. Yeah. I say, all right, darling, off we go. I slide him the horse piss. we all
No, wait,
leave.
it should be the boss here, like
Wait,
a
let me
big
finish.
operating
Let me
expenses.
finish. And as we all leave, I turn to our friend. I say, "Don't get stingy on me."
Ah!
Whatever his name is.
He takes that. He goes over to the barkeep, and you see the barkeep laughing hysterically. And you see him put down a gold, and the barkeep keeps laughing. He puts down another gold, and the barkeep keeps laughing, and he's like, and puts down another gold, and before you know it, he's paid 10 gold worth of drinks. And the barkeep's like,
Ilian,
That
today is
was
your
really
day.
expensive. How much of that horse shit did he drink?
Horse shit, not
Oh, no,
horse
no.
shit, horse piss. The horse shit is the meal that goes with it. So,
That's awesome.
so we need climbing gear, I guess.
Explain this
All
guy's
right.
breath.
You have
Alright.
climbing gear. You know there's climbing gear back at your ship.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
all right. Like, and we're talking about like
Wait through the pools of blood.
pitons and the
Gear up and
grappling
head
hook.
out.
And,
Pitons.
All right, while we gear up and head out, I'm gonna
hammers.
grab a beer.
Okay.
Okay, wait. We'll take a 5-minute break real quick. Okay.
cool.
Sure.
Okay, so we're back.
Progress.
So,
All right.
So
Nick just bashed some guy in the face.
Nick just took a sucker punch in a bar.
Morris.
This is-
Morris.
Sorry,
please.
sorry,
Morris.
I'm still learning everybody's names.
It's on the Twitch stream. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, man.
All right,
Awesome.
so yeah, roll for an attack real quick.
Okay.
They're just thugs.
Yeah, that was really sucky, and that's not really impactful. So I'm gonna use luck and try that again.
Oh, and I guided you.
What?
I don't think you could guide him if it was a sneak attack.
Yeah, this is
No,
well,
no, you didn't know I was gonna
no,
attack.
yeah, this is
so
very spontaneous.
Nice try though.
Appreciate
I like that.
much better. So that's a 23 to hit,
Yeah, you hit him.
and
Now,
what is my
Nick, I
DA?
gotta ask: Are you actually gonna try to make the list this was accidental? Like you didn't mean to hit him?
Oh no.
Okay, all right. I thought you're so. I thought I'd been like, well, we can. Whoa! So, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen.
Oh man, that sucks. So that's 5 damage, and then my bonus action, I'm doing an unarmed strike. And no, that's not great. Man, I'm rolling sucky. My bonus action is 11.
No, that doesn't hit.
Okay, so at least I did 5 damage with my quarterstaff in his
He like
face.
stumbles back and blood is running down his nose. He's like, "Do you just hit me, little man?"
Yeah, you know what? We'd have paid a lot more to protect this guy than you're paid to kill us. So
We're not
What's
gonna
your
kill
choice?
you. We're just gonna break his legs. And he's just talking about Ilian. You're not paid to protect Ilian.
oh, okay, well, you're just gonna
Whoops.
break our leg, but I'm gonna kill you.
What is this little
Darling, how
man
about we
talking
give you
about?
1 gold piece each?
They
Oh, and I
stop
hold out 2
moving.
gold pieces.
Like, you want to give us a gold? That one goes, he wants to give us a gold.
Scurry along.
He holds out his hand. He's like, maybe a couple copper for the nose too.
Scurry along, or he'll hit you again.
They kind of look at each other and nod and like shuffle off. And you hear them saying, I think we can tell the boss that we broke his legs. He'll never notice, right? And they go off.
I'll tell Ilian limp.
Okay.
Just hit him in the leg a couple times, like just punch him.
So
This is for your own good. Whack.
your patron like looks at all of you and he's like, well, I guess you've earned your money. Or some of it at least. We have a whole bunch more to earn now. Should we go in the middle of the night? Because I think we should get this done.
Sure, I'm rested. I'm
I'm
ready
good
to
to
go.
go.
I'm rearing.
Yeah, strange
Is
thing.
everybody else good to
everybody's
go?
scared. Absolutely, let's go in the
All
middle
right.
of the
So
night.
you,
And I
How
will,
bad
I will
could it be?
ask my compatriots who seem to enjoy drink, which is everybody else, if they want to take one for the road or not.
yeah, so your patron looks at all of you and he says, can I trust you to do this alone, or do you need me?
Oh my god, I am so tempted to ask him to come along. I love his commentary.
I have many things I must attend to, and this is kind of why you're paid.
A flavored stout.
After
Very
all,
nice.
you did negotiate a higher rate.
All right. I'm fine going without him. Ilian, we
Yeah.
have to bring Ilian.
Okay,
Yeah, let's make the DM just a little bit easier
Yeah.
to go back.
Yeah, from the 2 DMs, it's like, we'll just go ahead and... Yeah,
all
don't
right,
worry.
so yeah, you grab climbing gear, you grab overnight gear from the ship. You stock your food supplies, your water supplies, everything like that. And Ilian, who is still completely inebriated, like, follow me. We will go into the road. it's an easy walk. It's only a couple hours away.
Oh, great.
And
Early morning.
before you know it, 6 hours have passed. He's like, I don't know about you, but this rock over here looks very comfortable. And he just kind of falls over. Like, it's like, this rock looks comfortable.
No, it's not comfortable.
And he kind of curls up next to the rock.
I'm going to use prestidigitation to make it very cold.
It's like, did any of you bring me a spare, maybe you have a spare blanket or something? It doesn't matter. And he starts snoring.
Oh, man.
And then promptly wakes up and he's like, where did my toad go? And licks his toad again. He's like, okay, this way.
Just out of curiosity, can I do a nature to see if I have any idea what the hell that toad,
Of course you can,
is?
absolutely.
All right, Mr. Nature, how about a 14 or 15?
Some type of psychotropic toad that is local.
Okay.
And
All right.
and licking it probably makes him see things in lots of colors. But it also has
that is so awesome.
it also has a
I
coca.
didn't have to roll anything to figure that out.
Yeah, it also has a coca property, like the coca leaf, where it's clearly woof, upper.
Oh, got it. Oh, that's okay.
So he's like,
Yeah. All right.
it's so
Get
amazing
in there,
that you have
baby.
3 heads. So you actually walk another 3 minutes and come to this gnarled tree literally growing in the middle of the road.
Oh,
That
great.
was the first step.
And everybody give me a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. That is awesome because I suck at wisdom.
Uh-oh.
Yes, 3.
Shit. I'm gonna use luck again.
13?
Also,
That
3.
was worse.
Oh,
Damn it.
wait. I have to ask, is this a magic effect?
Yes.
I have advantage.
Oh, nice.
Gnome cunning. Oh, how about an 18?
Very nice.
Okay, who got a 14 or lower?
I did on my.
Oh, come on. I got 13.
Thank you, gnome cunning.
So wait, is the
Higher.
only is the gnome the only person who saved?
Oh my
It would
god!
appear so.
Just out of curiosity, I just had to find really quick. My wisdom is 9. Does anyone have a higher wisdom than that, or a lower wisdom? I mean,
Lower? No.
I love it.
Very actually be good at this.
I get a -1, and I'm the only one who saved.
Okay, so
I actually have 16 wisdom.
that's
and I
amazing.
fucked it up.
So what the rest
And
of
I
you
rolled twice.
What the rest of you see is basically there's this tree and it suddenly blooms. Now, Maldois, you're not seeing this. It's just an old, ugly ash tree to you. It suddenly blooms and the middle of it opens up. And a beautiful, naked woman walks out and she's just glowing. Her skin's aglow. Her eyes are bright and vibrant. And she speaks in this angel-esque voice and she says, "Come with me. Come with me. And be revived. Life will be yours to be taken. Come with me into the brilliance," and it begins to glow in the tree behind her, and you just feel compelled to go in. Malinois, what you notice is
Sure. Okay. Let's go.
Malinois, what you see is the tree actually opens up, and all of these tendrils shoot out towards your compatriots.
Stranger Things.
Okay, I think that if I can, I'd like to do create bonfire on that tree.
Uh-oh, we're being
Well,
pulled
that
into the bonfire.
Excellent. All right, so you are doing that. So a bonfire erupts. That's a cantrip, right?
Yes.
A bonfire erupts on the tree, and the tree just goes up like a pile of very
Dried
dry
leaves?
twigs. Yeah, and the rest of you suddenly see this beautiful fire emerge from the tree, and she says, "Oh, come quick!
Oh, she's
come
hot.
quickly! Come quickly!" And she walks backwards into the tree, into the opening, and disappears. And you're really compelled to go towards the tree.
Oh, damn it.
Is this working on me? Or is
Do
that
I
not
still-
really my
Oh,
thing?
she's well. Whatever your personal gender identity is and your personal preference for individuals
The attractive.
is what you see. So if
Yeah,
you're really
Morris-
into tiny gnomes, you see a tiny gnome.
Morris fell for it. So
Is it possible? Do I have? Oh God, I have. Oh wait, this
No pressure, but you
presentation
got
do
to save us
that?
all.
What? Again, every single time.
No pressure. You just have to save the whole party.
Yeah, I gotta go ahead and see if I can do. I need to go ahead and actually think. All right, so really quick, can I do some type of a check to know? Do I need to slap? Do I need to slap them? Do I need to do them damage? Do I need to do? What do I need to do to get them out of this trance?
Give me an Arcana. In the meantime, you all reach the fire.
Okay,
So,
18. I can turn off the fire as soon as I get close.
Okay, they get close, but the tree's on fire now.
Okay. All right. Well.
You all take 1 point of fire damage, and you get to re-roll your saves.
Oh god, I'm
yay.
so level 1.
DC is a 15, so you need to get a 15.
Yes, 16.
So you like snap out of it, and you see these tendrils writhing in flame in front of you.
13.
So I just start swinging at them to kind of keep them at bay with my staff.
Okay.
How about Ilian or Illid? What is his name?
He's so drunk and hallucinating, he doesn't even see there's a tree there.
Actually, that's good. We need him.
Helen, how'd you do?
13.
So you're still like, wow, this is beautiful. Chop Tank,
She is so hot.
you still think it's beautiful, and Childera.
25.
So okay,
25.
25.
Morris, and Maladroit, you see all these. Maladroit, you rolled. You probably could just hit them and try and wake them up.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do whoever's closest to me. I can only do one attack per round, so just like, hey, snap out of it.
I'll let you do 2 because you can do like your main and then your bonus. So just roll to see if you hit him. Actually, sorry, you don't have to roll to see him. You hit him, but whomever you're hitting gets to make their save again.
All right. I'll probably hit 3 of them. 3 of them failed, or just 2 of them failed.
No, I'm good now.
It's just
Yeah, I think it's just
Helen,
it's just
Chop Tank, and
Helen-
Childera.
No, Childera got a 25.
Oh, I thought you said 2. I'm sorry. So then you
He said 2-5. Yeah.
got it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and hit them both.
Hit him.
Yeah. Dwarf, female, old woman.
Make
Come
your
on.
saves again.
49. Thank you.
And I'll yell at the other 2 to pull these these two back. You know.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
18.
All right, you all save, and you pull back, and like all these tendrils.
No, not Helen. Helen failed.
Oh, what did
again.
Helen make? Oh, I didn't hear.
11.
Oh,
Helen is seeing Fabio come out of the tree.
Helen, you take
the
another
hair.
4 points of fire damage,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
and make your save
I'm
again.
not allowed to curse on the internet.
No, you can totally fucking curse.
So,
Make
Help
another
me
save.
pull her back. Help me pull her away from the fire.
Yeah, when I
somebody.
see Helen just keeps going for it, I use my staff to kind of block her
Okay.
and just like shove her back.
Helen, you do get to make one more save.
Before you die. So.
I do like rolling new characters, but I kind of like this character. Alright, here we go. This is going to be a good one. Boom. Oh, come on! That's the same roll 3 times in a row! 15.
So he failed again. Wait, can we get? Did we tackle her? All of us are alive now.
Helen, you feel really compelled to get to this goddamn tree.
But at this point, I'm literally
Yeah.
like holding my
Oh,
quarterstaff
no,
like this and
you-
preventing her from
You have
going
Helen
forward, you know?
restrained, but Helen's like, please, it's so beautiful. He's so
Nick
he or
is.
she.
I think.
it, Z.
I think the other Nick is trying to do guidance on the saving throw.
Oh, yay!
We can't hear you.
Ah.
We can't hear you, Nick S.
Yeah, he's muted.
Somehow it was worse, Nick. It was a good try.
I told you these iPhone headphones suck.
No more rolling. No more
Heal
rolling.
her with one hand and I'll
Oh,
cast-
heal.
No more rolling.
okay.
It's okay.
I'll take a heal.
Listen, enough
Yeah,
enough
that's
time
great.
has transpired. The tree withers under the fire. It's burning. It's going up like a log, and it just
Okay.
begins to like melt over, and blood pours out of it, and you see a beating heart kind of emerge from it and fall on the ground and burn. And at that point, Ilian gets up. And he's like, "Oh, did I mention the tree? Make
It's
sure."
helpful to know about. Thanks,
Make
bro.
sure when we find the tree, we go around it. And he licks the toad again. He's like, oh, the bridge is next.
Great.
Okay, is there anything we need to know about the bridge, Ilian?
It's a really shitty bridge.
Like, to not use it?
Yeah, well, it's fine. Follow me. And he leads you off into the woods.
Nick, are you
Sorry.
healing me? Because I'm busted up.
Yeah, you still need a heal there, Helen.
I need
Save it.
5 points.
Sorry, everyone. I thought that maybe the fire would snap you out of it. and didn't work the way I thought it would. So,
No, it actually destroyed the tree, so that was a
Yeah,
success
actually, I think
overall.
you saved my
We're
ass
all
there.
alive.
I'm not so sure about that because you took like what 6 points of damage from that.
I'm not dead yet.
6 points of damage from a cantrip, by the way.
Sorry.
Well, actually, if that was done normally, that'd been 1d8, but I shut it off before he got into the fire.
It's like all of a sudden I'm in the mood for s'mores.
Okay. So how much damage does everybody have?
I think I'm the only one who's
That's pretty good.
injured.
And
Or
you mean,
no.
I haven't taken any damage yet.
I
None.
took 1 point. It's
One.
I took
I'm
one
at
point.
3 hit points.
And how many?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm at 9 max.
So you lost what?
Helen needs 6. Helen lost 6.
Okay, I'm gonna cast
Level 1.
Preserve Life. I get to choose present my holy symbol, and I restore up to 10 hit points, divided
Oh.
with any creatures within 30 feet, up to half
Wow.
your HP max. So
Wow,
yeah,
Oh, so you can distribute the 10?
yeah.
that is pretty
Yeah,
slick.
nice.
Yeah,
Sweet.
So Helen gets 6.
you would get
And who-
1.
I get my 1.
I think
Yeah, you might
you can
want.
take your 1 too. Everybody can take because they can go up to 10.
Yeah.
So
That's a slick spell. Well
Nice.
played.
That's okay, because I'm also reading that I did have the ability to cure some poison, so that would have been a
Oh.
good, useful thing.
Many NPCs have died securing these plans.
You know what? It worked for this
I
story.
kind of forgot that there was a way to cure poison.
Yeah,
That's
with
what-
lay
that's what-
on hands,
that's
right?
what I was asking about. That I was like, we've got to have some way of doing that. But
It's early level.
Que sera,
We're all
sera.
level 1 and 2.
Man.
Like, we're basically Frodo in the Shire. I
we're,
mean,
we're
like,
learning
come on.
how to use our abilities. That's all.
On that
Oh,
note,
Paladin sucks.
Except the paladin is level 2. He has no excuse. But you know,
so you're walking through the dense forest, and there's a moment as Ilian like almost trips and falls, and then catches himself, and he's like, "Oh, mind the step right here." And you see that it's a cliff edge. It just is like in the middle, and it's actually kind of loud because there's a river roaring like 180 feet down. And there's a cliff, and there's about like a 50-foot span, and you see a single rope tied between two very girthy trees.
oh, so it's like a tightrope basically, or like
Yeah, it's just a single
not
rope.
even.
And he
That
looks
looks
at you all, and he hiccups. He's like, you brought the climbing gear, right?
We have the climbing
Yes.
gear.
All right, so I think we have to shimmy on this. I can't remember. I'm usually very drunk when, when I do this. I'm usually very drunk, so I'm not drunk enough right now. And he pulls
All
out.
right.
He pulls out like from somewhere a flask and just goes. I'm good now. I'm good.
I was gonna say, Morris, you have work to do. Get in there. Do your thing. I'll shimmy out first and
Wait.
hear the
wait.
guideline for everybody.
Hold on.
Okay,
'Cause I figure I'm probably the best at climbing.
it's going to be an advantaged athletics check.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics, not acrobatics.
I will let you use athletics or acrobatics, whichever's higher.
Yes.
Hold on, but before we begin this,
The two Dex
I would like
characters are like, yes.
It's a low DC too because you're using gear.
Wait, who are the worst off at climbing and such? Who's going to be?
I'm okay with Dex. If I can use a Dex roll, I should be. I
I'm
have
guessing you.
I would say it's probably the dwarf and the halfling in the heavy armor.
Giant heavy armor man.
Yeah.
Buddy, I'm gonna guide you.
So, I was going to pray to my God and bring down a blessing, but I can only bless 3 of you. So,
Well, I can touch you.
I'll take it. I'll take a blessing. That's fine.
all right, everybody under 5 feet gets a blessing.
At that point, Ilian's like, I drank too much, and he just starts vomiting.
Oh, maybe
heavily.
hit him with some of that.
With a blessing? No.
All right, so
I'm going.
Give me
I
some
will
rolls.
do this. I will tie. I brought one of the ropes. I'll tie a rope around his waist as he shimmies across, and I'll give that to Chop Tank. You look like you could hold on to it pretty good.
He
So
looks.
we're climbing down. Is that what we're
No,
doing?
there's a rope. You're gonna like
Across.
you're gonna attach yourselves with some ropes and maybe some carabiners, crude carabiners, and just kind of like pull yourselves across.
And,
Have you ever done, like,
assuming we
Into
have- yeah.
cliffhanger.
Yeah,
So,
those-
if I recall, if I understand correctly, the first person is going to go out with the guideline on the rope. If I fall, you'll catch me. I'll tie the guideline off over there, so now you have 2 ropes, and then you
I'll
can
go
go
first.
across with 2 ropes. Should be easier.
All right.
Yes.
So yeah, advantaged athletics or acrobatics. Very low DC. So just give me some rolls. Everybody just roll. We're gonna do it all at once.
It's okay. I'll go first.
15.
You're safe.
Unnatural 20.
You're safe.
Dirty 20.
14.
14. You're safe.
Oh, that's disappointing. But I have a 9 plus 4, 13.
You're safe.
19.
You're safe. You all make it across, and you see, like Ilian has been waiting to go. He's the last one. He's like, you can see he's like pukey, and yep, that's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. He licks his toe. He's like, oh. And he kind of reaches for the rope, and it's one of those things where like when you're like a foot off in your reach, and he falls off the cliff,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
and you just see him fall the full length and smash into the
Or you're
rocks
muted.
below. And his body just kind of explodes. It's like if you've ever dropped pancake batter and you just see it goes.
Wait, didn't Matt say he tied him off?
Yeah, I put a rubber on his thing.
Yeah. He fell the full.
What?
He fell full all the way down though. So I guess
But
I guess
tied him to a
you
rope.
pendulum and smash into the wall. And he's gone. I'm sorry to let you know.
I
Well-
think he fell through a plot hole.
It's okay.
He's
When
dead.
when the DM decides the NPC is to go,
Yeah.
Okay.
the NPC
It's
has
time to go.
He's gone.
Well, I guess he was fated to have his legs broken after all. So there's just
Yeah,
no
His
that's
legs,
two
his
silver
spine.
right there on the ground.
Bit of a waste of 2 gold, but I suppose we'll do.
Wish we had taken that toad.
All right. I need. Who wants to make a
You
survival
want to
check?
reel
Oh,
it
that
back
poor
to Luton
toad.
first?
Sorry,
Wait. What was that, Andrew?
So one of you needs to make a survival check to figure out where the fuck you go from here.
Okay, who's good at
Um,
survival?
Well,
Chopper, if you want to pull the body up, we can
me.
see what's on the body.
I know my way around the world, so I can try.
I know
Wait,
something.
only one person can do
Advantage.
it. Oh, wait,
Make it-
wait. Can we aid?
make
Can
it-
someone aid?
Make it advantaged.
Yeah,
Well,
advantage.
everybody's still
advantage?
blessed.
All right,
Also true.
And I
Hold on,
Everyone's
I know
everybody under
blessed.
5 foot is still blessed.
okay.
I'm not blessed for this though. You didn't bless me,
Yeah.
but you can get guidance is 1d4.
the tiny.
And it's advantage.
Yeah, let me roll. Yeah, that's not great. With so basically 6 plus 3 9 plus 3 12.
That's not an advantaged?
Yes.
Wow.
I rolled a 4 and a 6.
That's impressive.
With the
That actually is pretty
guidance?
impressive.
Hey, earlier I used luck and I rolled 2 and 4.
You are very lucky that about 10 feet away from the tree, you find an old goat path leading up into the mountains. And it's pretty
Okay.
well worn, so you're able to follow it. And you follow it for about 30, 40 minutes, and you actually immediately, just, with your passive perception, it's not really being hidden, see a fire off about 100 yards.
It's like in Frozen when Olaf goes, "Hey guys, I don't know if this is relevant, but there's a staircase right here that leads exactly where we need to go."
Nice.
Again, you can tell that there's a lot of dads that are on this.
yeah.
So you hear
I would like to build a film.
you hear like the
Can I-
bleeding of
can
goats.
I tell just?
The bleeding.
Of goats.
Can we tell how big
Meh.
the fire is? Is it like a small campfire, a huge bonfire?
It's like a small campfire.
Okay.
You see shadows.
Bleeding of goats.
All right, I mentioned. So I think we can assume, or maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but can we assume that, like, given that I am an international woman of mystery, I've imparted some of our like secret agent stuff over to these guys over the years. Like, for example, we have a signal for if something has gone bad, like an owl's hoot, right, or something like that. There we go.
That,
right, so
whatever that was.
Right? So can we agree that we have signals for like help? I need help. Come to me now.
Yes.
Something's gone wrong, or get ready for an attack.
Yes, you don't have to go through them now, but we'll assume that you have a common language shared.
So I say I'll scout it out. Get ready for an attack. If something goes wrong, I'll run back to you guys. If I give the all clear, come on up. Does that seem like a good plan? Does that seem like a good plan, boys?
I'm always ready, Lass.
Sure.
Okay, so you're going stealthy?
Jolly good.
Give me
Yes.
one of those stealth rolls.
You want me to go with
This
you?
one is gonna be a good one. Unlike the
Helen,
other rolls.
Before Helen left, Helen, you want me to go with you?
No, I'm good.
Wise rogue. A very wise rogue.
I'm good. Darling, I work
I'm-
better alone.
Morris is actually stealthy, you know?
All right, so what is the roll?
26.
So you move
That
from
is
you
good.
move from tree to tree. You know the trees thin out, but there's still enough that you can move like between boulders and kind of creep up. And you see a very large man, and he is sleeping across the goat path next to the fire. A blanket pulled over him, and he's large. And when I say large, I mean he's probably like 8 feet tall. And you can see in the fire that he has very pale, almost like stone-colored skin. And there's all these goats sleeping around him. Clearly, some type of shepherd.
Is it like cute? Like all the goats are like, "Oh, we love you,"
Yes.
and they're all snuggling together.
Yes.
All right, so I'm probably not gonna knife this guy. All right. In that case,
You also smell like the distinct smell of food.
okay, that's fair. Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna sneak back and tell everybody.
As you're like just turning around and walking, you hear a voice being like, "Hey, friend,
Hello.
you over there." And you look back and you see one of his eyes is open, and it's
Shit. I do the help me whistle.
I think the help me whistles. Oh my God, help! So
Oh my God, help!
and it's just a
Help!
crystal sky
chimichanga.
blue eye. Like it's just
Jenga.
bright.
What is it?
I do the like. I do it again.
wait. I got to roll for my character.
Do we hear
I
that?
heard a bird. So
Yeah, you hear his chimichanga,
we know the
I'm
signal.
scared signal.
Morris bolts.
Yeah, I'll run out.
There's a small smile on his face, and he kind of like props himself up on his arm, and he looks at you and he says, "Come, why don't you come? I have plenty of food and drink to share. Your friends are invited as well."
All right.
well, they're coming.
Winning.
So
And
When in Rome.
he sits up and kind of like pulls off his blanket, and you see just a mountain of muscle beneath his clothing, like rippling muscles. And
Helen, calm
Oh, yeah,
down.
Helen saw this on
I
the
take off
tree.
my robe and do
It's
my
Fabio, he's back.
65-year-old woman flex.
and he pulls out a very long pipe and sticks it in his mouth.
Very long something. Okay.
I know when he started with very long, I was like, "Eee."
We know where this is going. This is set
Is
to
he
mature.
human?
I would say he's probably not human at 8 feet tall.
8 foot tall, probably not.
and
I missed the 8 foot
skin
tall.
that is gray and eyes that are so blue they practically glow in the night.
So when my compatriots come running up the path, I kind of give them the like all's okay hand signal so they don't attack this guy.
Yeah, because Morris just like ran in with his staff and he was ready to jump, like
And I
airbender
appreciate
style,
He
Yeah,
he
I
looks
kinda
he
give
looks
them
at
like,
you, Morris, and he has this big bag and he fishes into the bag and he pulls out like an oversized goat bladder, like not just like one that's been worked into a proper container, and he looks and he says, "Come, friend, join in."
Hey, sure, no problem. Hey, my name's Morris. How you doing?
He has like this massive paw of a hand and shakes your hand and hands it over, and I'm assuming you take like a long swig.
Oh yeah,
It's
totally.
very sweet, delicious wine. It's like the best wine you've ever had.
Nice.
He's
Things are
everybody.
looking up.
Everybody, come,
Nothing suspicious about this whatsoever.
come, sit, everybody, come, join me. And like you can see these goats now that you're kind of there, and you can see in the fire. You see these goats are rather large for goats. They're like the size of a small horse.
Legs?
No.
What do you think this is? Satire?
He pulls out from his bag a large loaf of brown bread. He pulls out a jar that contains what looks like really thick honey. He takes out pieces of salted goat cheese that are wrapped in this wax cloth, and he begins pouring goat's milk into horns. And you can see that the goat's milk is still warm. And he sets it out. He says, "All of you look so tired. Won't you join me?"
Oh yeah.
Can I make a perception check to figure out, like, okay, is this too good to be true?
Insight. It's an insight check. Yes, you can make an insight check.
Insight check. I wish
His
more
hair
would
blowing
better.
back in the wind.
Morris is very good at insight checks, but he's not even trying.
I got a 10.
I mean, it
No, I think the
seems
same-
exceedingly genuine.
Maladroit is also going to go ahead and just, roll with this and be like, wow, this is a very nice fire you built here. You must have done this before.
Yes, of course. These are the mountains that I spend my time in with my goats and stay on my own. It's not often I have travelers. And he says,
just out of curiosity, does Maladroit actually recognize what kind of a humanoid this is?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
He says, I am...
Really?
Yeah, absolutely not. He says, I am Heron, the Bloodbound, the Oath Master and Keeper. And he smiles broadly and he says, stay a while and listen to stories and maybe share a few.
Yes, by all means. You see this picture on here? This happened to us this morning.
He kind of like takes a big swig of his pipe, and you see this golden steam and smoke come out of it, and it smells sweet and inviting. And he pulls out a few more pipes and sets them down with some tobacco near them. And he hasn't.
Don't be rude, boys.
He hasn't eaten or drank anything, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like it's unusual. He says, "Tell me, are you good people?"
Sure.
And Maladroit says, well, how do we define good in the cosmic terms, really? Like, what criteria do we go by? Are we talking about for personal good? Are we talking about for society?
I politely interrupt my friend. I say, no, you already know the answer to that question.
He smiles broadly, and he says, tell me a story about yourselves. Something interesting.
I bet you Morse has got the best stories.
Yep, Morris,
So
this wine is working itself warm, and you feel good and ready to tell a story.
Yeah, let me try to remember.
Well, you're a man of the wilderness. We encountered these really weird pine cone things the other day. How would you describe that?
He blows a large billow of smoke, and it forms into a shape that looks shockingly like the blights that you saw.
That's true. So, since Morris is enjoying the wine so much, Maladroit will go ahead and actually regale him with the tale of how we fought against living twigs and needles and vines, and how we valiantly battled, and how Maladroit valiantly kept running away to get further away from the fight. And
valiantly so.
Yes, and her compatriots did an excellent job of pretending to fall in battle to lower their defenses.
We seem to have a problem with trees in this group.
He nods knowingly. He nods knowingly and blows another billow. And how about you? He points to Helen. I feel like there's something that you have to say.
Well, darling, I had the most interesting cup of coffee this morning.
And
I tell him the story of our. I say, darling, this is one of the most interesting days I've ever had, and I just sort of run through the day, and that's what brings us here.
He kind of shakes his head and he's like, and this is why I have retired from the realm of men. And he sighs.
Because of the exploding guts?
He sighs very heavily. He says, no. And you can see him shiver, and he says, there's a darkness, a great, great darkness awakening. And he kind of looks at all of you and he says, I can feel your connection to it. You will...
I'm curious. Can you tell us more about the darkness?
He kind of looks and he says, you'll have to follow and read of the devastations. But an ancient power has awoken. I can feel it. Something has happened. Someone has broken the stasis.
Hey, Andrew, is annoying boss man with us all this time, or,
No.
or we
No.
just left?
Oh,
us?
he checked out a while.
He
We
trusts
left
you.
him back at the boat.
Okay, all right, cool.
He says, but we should talk of happy things. Happy things. And he blows on his pipe, and at this point, you all recognize you're really sleepy. Really sleepy. And he kind of looks at all of you, and he gently touches Chop Tank's face and says, I am going to retire for the night, and you may stay by my fire and warm yourselves. And he pulls out these large sheepskins, with all the wool on it, and hands them to you to sleep with. And he goes back under his thick wool blanket, and you see one of his goats just kind of snuggle up next to him. And he closes his eyes. And you all feel very tired and compelled to rest.
All right. So before she does, she thinks it's really cute. Prestidigitation of that image on the on her blanket. So she thinks it's really sweet.
Oh, that's sweet. Helen is going to take
And then
her
she's
evening,
out. She's out.
Helen's going to take her evening constitutional and just sort of walk around the campsite and kind of reflect. Also check for anything that looks suspicious and make a couple backup plans in case we need to run away, but mostly just take it all in.
Yeah, so you go around, and it's not even a proper campsite. It's the middle of this goat path. But at the same time, you count 80 goats. This is a large herd. And they're all very physically, perfect specimens. Very, very, very massive. Almost like they're the type of goats giants might keep.
I try to get one of the goats to snuggle with me.
It does. They're very friendly.
Awesome. I snuggle with a goat and go to sleep.
So, as we're all going to sleep, right? So I'm gonna take that big goat skin, whatever thing he handed over. I'm gonna grab drink a lot of it, to try to forget the image of all these men with goats, so I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, so you
That's
do
what you're
that.
talking about, right?
No problems. You drink yourself into a slumber, a steady, fast slumber.
I tuck in all of my companions and just make sure everybody's all right.
Well, one last thing I want to do before I pass out. I would like, once again, to pray to my God and see if I can sense any kind of fiendish or evil presence nearby.
Yeah, you do that, and you look around, and you can feel the essence of your God resonating through you, and all you feel is peace.
How pleasant. Sorry.
How utterly unusual.
I feel better.
So you all fall
It's
asleep.
been a day of exploding bellies, and we end with snuggling with goats.
You all fall asleep, and the next morning comes, and you wake completely rested. It's the best sleep you've ever had.
Goats.
Your sheepskins are still with you, and you find tiny little wrapped bits in wax with a nice bow on them. Every single one of you. Long rest. Every single one of you finds it right next to you, nestled against you. And the goats are gone. And
No!
and Heron is gone. There's not a sign they were even there. The fire is gone, and there's no ash. It's as if they never were there. Chop Tank, you open yours and you find a very simple looking dagger. And I'm going to tell you what it does real quick, just for your own benefit, but don't write it down. I'll just message it to you. It will skin anything perfectly.
Wow.
If you use it in combat and roll a 15 or more, it does an additional 1d4 radiant damage.
Wow.
Fancy.
Childera, you find a small
Thank you,
wooden
Heron.
cup. It's handmade. It's very plain looking. Anything you put in it will be purified. You could put poison in it and you'd be able to drink it no problem.
Don't touch my poison.
Go back to that coffee.
Maladroit,
Yeah.
Don't touch my coffee.
Maladroit, you find a tiny goat bell, one that they would wear around their neck. Twice a day you may use the bell to notify the rest of your party members. They'll hear it ethereally without anyone else hearing it around you. In fact, if you ring it It doesn't make any noise, but it resonates in just your party member's head. If you want to add or remove somebody from it, you have to concentrate for a couple of hours and you'll be able to do so.
Cool, okay.
Morris, you find 2 pebbles, and they're in your shoe. It's really frustrating. But you pull them out, and there's something special about them. Each of them has a rune carved in them. If you were to throw them, they would emit a loud noise like the crack of thunder, and then they would become nothing. They would just vanish, so that you have 2 uses. Helen, you find a pair of goat testicles. So sometimes these farmers put rubber bands or tie off the goat testicles so they fall off, and it's a pair of those. And weirdly enough, once per day, with 10 minutes of focus, you think you could make the testicles appear to be any item worth up to 10 gold pieces that's of equivalent size.
So wait, what do they do? I missed that. What?
Goat testicles? What do the goat testicles do? Is that what you're saying? The goat
These guys get magic items, and I get Rocky Mountain places.
once per day with 10 minutes of concentration, you can make the testicles appear to be any item worth up to 10 gold pieces. At midnight, they return to just goat testicles.
Just a goat testicle.
And they'll have the function of that item, too. So if you make it like whatever you make it, it'll have the function of that item. It can't be anything bigger, but it could be something smaller.
Like a key.
Yeah. And you notice that there's a cairn set up near the campsite that wasn't there last night, and you see cairns leading up into the mountains.
What's a cairn again?
It's a stack of rocks.
Oh, okay. All right, got it.
Usually used to like mark a trail.
Or by tourists for
Okay,
Instagram.
trail marker, got it.
All right.
Nice.
Anybody need to do anything
All right.
before we go?
No, I think I'm in good shape. I feel great.
That
So
was
I'm the
that
only
was-
one who got consumables. I feel so cheated by this.
I mean,
like,
technically, I
big
have
food.
goat testicles. You could consume them, but
I mean, that's what I was thinking when I was originally
No,
designing
form
them.
any shape.
I was like, would Corey Cypher eat goat testicles in character? Yeah.
I feel like my character is pretty worldly.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, you have to eat them?
No, he doesn't.
No.
That was what I was thinking
There's an
originally.
edible component.
But I felt to be gracious. So you follow these cairns, and they lead up into the mountain, then back down, and you see a cove. And the cove it's absolutely pristine and gorgeous, white sand, and you see little wings flapping in the water of these both large and very tiny rays, like sea rays.
Right.
Like skates.
In the
Like
water.
skates,
Got
but
it.
bigger. Yeah, but like actual proper,
Yeah.
like mantas, like very large ones. But then you see like
Okay.
baby ones with them, and they're moving around. And the babies leave this shimmering trail that looks like the description of the dust that you're supposed to find.
Oh,
Interesting.
There we go.
hey, check that out.
Let's gather that up.
Yeah, let's not just stick our hands in the water, though. Hold on.
Did they
It's
say
probably
how?
something a little
Was there
trickier.
ever a indication of how much we needed to gather?
Or how to gather it.
None of these
seemed
things
to
were
be
told to you.
It seemed to be very rare, so I think as much as we can gather would probably be the best thing to do, because he was like, it's all out, it's gone, or something like that. So
Sure.
if we bring back just a gram or something, I think it's gonna go like, what?
So the goat path continues down into the this kind of like safe waterway that is like the sea's there, and it's just cut into it and making this nice cove. And you walk onto the beach, and man, Childera and Morris and Helen, the hair on the back of your neck stands on end like you're being watched.
Interesting.
Everybody
Can
good at
I
handling animals.
Kildara, Chop Tank, and Morris, you said?
can I take
No, it wasn't me.
search as to where
Helen.
where people might be looking at us?
Yeah, the three of you give me perception checks.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
16.
20.
10.
Nice. You hear you hear a loud voice. You can see shapes, figures coming down the mountain, kind of after you, but kind of trying to conceal themselves, but not doing such a great job. And they're humanoid looking, like you can see the silhouettes. And you hear, "Okay, enough with the ruse." and this man walks down. He's like, "Come on, come on," and he's wearing these robes that look very proper. But they're like covered in like dirt and muck, and he's like trying to kind of go like this, and he has this floppy, wide-brimmed hat on, and this long white beard, and he's like, "Ugh, I really hate being inside the forest like this. I just much prefer cities. How you guys doing? I've been following you for a while, and you're such interesting individuals." And 4 orcs come out right behind him.
And this is a human who's talking to us?
And you notice this purple handprint on his jacket, and a purple handprint across each of the faces of the orcs.
Oh.
So basically, they're the ones that slaughtered all those sailors.
Wait. Okay. Turn away. Press the sensation of a purple handprint on my face. Turn back. Hey! How you guys doing?
That's really cute. Good, very, very cute of you to do. So, thank you for bringing us to the cove. We wouldn't have found it without you. I think we could take it from here.
I shoot him. I shoot him with my crossbow.
Roll for initiative?
No. I shoot him.
Yeah. Roll for initiative. All right, I need.
I thought I could get a shot off.
I need to take like a 1 minute break, and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
I thought I had decisive.
Commercial break.
Helen, what'd you roll?
Well, they're gonna let us know if it doesn't work.
Yeah, assuming people are still
I was
watching.
having
viewers. Yeah.
I was having a temporal break where two versions of history were happening 5 seconds apart.
Helen, what'd you roll?
Sorry, I'm still docking myself back in reality. 20. Dirty 20.
Okay.
And you just had to beat me.
Morris.
Morris is 19.
Nice.
I feel like I did get that shot off.
And Childera, did I already ask you?
Oh, I got a 12.
So, Andrew, those rocks that I got, am I supposed to throw them?
Yeah.
What did they do again?
They're basically flashbangs.
What's a flashbang?
A flashbang grenade.
Grenade.
You throw it. It makes a big noise and a big flash. And when people aren't expecting it, it basically stuns them.
Oh, okay.
You can't see or hear for like 10
all
seconds.
these, things.
You never play Call of Duty?
Well, I'm an RPG guy.
Okay, let's see how this looks.
We had, of course, I always remember the glitter bombs that we had. That's back when it was Dex in Dex's campaign with what was it? I think it was Ace and Andrew's characters who got covered in glitter dust.
Yeah. Which was amazing. In that whole first level, you guys basically cleared out most of what you were going to run into by first making a huge racket at the front.
I believe that was all me.
Yeah, he just did thermatology or whatever it was, and like all the skeletons came around.
And then being 2 giant glowing spheres walking through the hallways.
Okay. Now that
everything out to you.
Now that we've rolled for initiative. Yes.
Andrew, you're gonna have to zoom out the view a little bit, I think, because we can't.
Can you see roll 20?
No, I see roll 20, but I meant for the viewers.
Oh no, I don't need to show the whole map at once. It's okay.
All 2 of them,
Hey, very important people.
Of course.
This is so cool.
One of them might
Should
be
I
my
have
wife.
control over my character or no?
This looks really.
I have control of my character.
One second.
I can move Maladroy around.
I've tried to do stuff in OBS and it always gets jacked up. I am legitimately impressed by this layout. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
You should be able to control it now.
I want to, since this is being recorded, I want to go on the record to say that I do not appreciate that my monk looks like Friar Tuck, because it's such a cliche.
I look like some sort of dual wielding banshee.
It's just like such a cliche.
While Andrew's clicking things, I'm grabbing a beer. 2 seconds, speed run.
But apparently the image that I chose is copyrighted to Paizo, so I can't share it on stream.
Just send an
Even
email.
though, if you look at the sidebar, you can see him. He's right there.
Okay, we're all good. Everybody should have control of their characters. If not, I can always move them. It's no big deal.
I can move mine.
I can move my character.
You're good.
I like
So-
to think that, just for the hell of it, Maladroit is actually making this music in the background with prestidigitation.
I love it.
So this is diegetic sound. So-
The music is. I can control the volume, right? Because it's kind
Yeah.
of loud.
Yeah,
I
it's
just loaded
in
it.
settings.
It's a little loud, but I also really like it.
All
No,
right.
it's good, but it's like kind of loud.
So we're gonna start with Helen.
Ah! I don't like this orc creeping around my flank, so I'm gonna move back to here, and then take a shot at this guy.
All right, you're gonna move your. You should be able to move your character on screen.
I can, and I will. Yeah.
And you're taking a shot at which one?
This guy, this orc.
What is
blue
Helen
one.
firing with?
A crossbow.
Nice. Is a regular crossbow? Hand.
Regular crossbow.
Okay, make a shot.
It's the first attack I've ever made with this character. This feels exciting. 17 to hit.
You hit.
Ooh, max damage. Wait, that's the wrong die.
What?
Let's see. All right. And I can't. No, yeah, no sneak attack. So 6 points of damage
Nice.
to the orc.
You you take aim with short bow, or what are you using?
Crossbow.
Crossbow. Take aim with your crossbow and fire a bolt off, and the bolt just lands squarely in the orc's chest, and just a spurt of black blood shoots across his chest, staining him. And he looks down and he's like,
I don't understand.
he looks pissed.
Well, he's
And-
not dead, so. Uh-oh.
What else? Anything else?
That's all I got. I'm level 1.
All right, Morris.
All right, so Morris is gonna go like, hold on. I gotta go take a piss. And Morris is just gonna run all the way over here and
To the bushes?
shit!
Oh.
Look what we have here, and I'm just gonna whack this orc with my quarterstaff and
Oh
roll
my god, there's another orc
Eight.
over there. I didn't even see him.
22.
You hit?
Yeah, Morris sees all. So that's a 22 to hit.
Mm.
And for a total of 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And then right after whacking him, just go like open palm, boom, like unarmed attack, bonus action for a natural 20.
Nice.
Oh.
How do you do natural
Double dice.
critical
Double
hits,
dice.
Andrew?
So give me another just straight 20 because D20 because in case you get another 20, I let you do quadruple damage.
Arquebus style. Nice.
No, 11.
That's cool. So you still do, double dice.
Double
Normal.
dice.
Double dice.
So that's 2d4 modifier once or twice.
Once.
So double
The way-
dice modifier
Yeah,
once.
the way it's
Okay.
done in the core.
So that's damn it. Oh shit. Just lost my dice. Freaking D4s are like impossible to roll.
Don't step on them.
We didn't caltrops.
Alright, so that's a giant 3 + 4, 7 points of damage.
All right.
So still, that's 13 points of damage against that
Pretty
orc.
good.
So you
That's pretty good.
smack him with your quarterstaff and it breaks his nose and there's just a burst of black blood and he kind of staggers back, and as he does, you open hand strike him to the side of the temple and you hear this crunch as it partially crushes and you see him like squinting at you and blood begins to pour out of his lips and he's just standing.
He's just standing? Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck.
If I had realized that guy was there, I would have shot at him. I can't retcon that, can I, Andrew?
No.
It's okay.
You're good.
I got it.
Really quick, Andrew, like, can
that?
we see the health bars of these people at all?
No. I will describe to you how their health is. I don't like
So
health bars.
the red dot one is really damaged, and then the blue
He's like
one is damaged.
he's
is
like
that right?
barely standing and his eyes like partially out of its socket.
That's the red one.
Meanwhile, the blue one,
The blue one took some damage.
The blue one has the
too.
bolt still in there and is like enraged by
Okay,
it.
got it. Thank you.
All right.
Super
Anything
cool.
else, Morris?
No, that's it. It's pretty. I'm level 1 monk. I can move and hit shit.
Perfect. Chop
Wait,
tank.
did you do your? All right.
Wait,
Did I do my what?
Did you have a bonus attack unarmed?
Yeah,
You
that's
use
what
it.
I did.
yeah, you did
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay.
Chop.
I did 6 points with the quarterstaff, and I did 7 points because it was a crit with the unarmed.
Yeah. Chopping tank.
Yep, I'm gonna back up. Shield up. Tell everybody, get behind me. Start funneling back there so we can control their attack end. So I motion back here, and then I ready an attack for if an orc approaches me. I can say
Hey,
this
what?
with my
Okay,
axe.
so you set a ready action. So if they come within melee range, you're going to start hacking.
That's right.
All right. Maladroit.
All right. I'll take the advice. Sorry. I'm gonna move here though, because if I move back here, I'm worried that they could get around Chop Tank without them getting a hit. So I'll hide bravely behind my friend, and I'm going
That's
to
why
use.
I'm here.
I was asking about the damage, because I'm going to use magic missile. So I get 3 missiles.
Mhm.
I'm going to fire 1 at the red orc
Excellent.
and the other 2 at the blue orc.
Nice.
Nice.
And those are automatic hits. I
Yes.
don't have to roll to hit.
That's
those.
right.
So I'm going to start with the red orc.
Okay.
All right,
How
roll
about-
higher.
5 points of damage.
You fire off a magic missile from your hand, and it spirals through the air and hits him in the chest, and his chest explodes. And Morris, you get a couple of like little tiny bits of bone in your clothing and blood kind of all over you. And the orc kind of touches at the hole in his chest and just falls backwards, dead.
It's been quite a day.
Oh, I was gonna finish that last.
Oh, sorry. And I'm glad this is recorded
back here,
because this has
human.
never happened before. So I rolled max damage on that, and I just rolled for the other orc max damage again, 10 points to the blue orc. To the orc with the dot.
Wow.
Yes. Level 1
Nice.
wizard.
Is that both? That's both the last remaining, the 2 magic missiles that you've remaining?
Yeah, the 2. I fired 2 at him, and I got max damage on both
So
of them.
you then kind of like, and 2 more missiles go spiraling, trailing these beautiful fireworks and smash into the blue orc, the first one, and his arm actually gets blown off and blood begins pouring out, and he like immediately is like, "Ah!" And the second one smashes into his face and obliterates it, and there's just part of his jaw, and you see his brain kind of sloshing out of his skull, and he falls over dead as well.
Which one?
Wow.
Now, if I could do the final one, I would have prestidigitation on the rock behind us saying, "Today is a good day." So,
And
Did someone hit the blue orc before?
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, Helen.
Helen did. Helen
Oh,
did.
Helen did. Okay, all right, cool.
Maladroit, anything else?
told the
That's it.
initiative
I did my move behind the dwarf, and I did my spell.
All right, Childera.
I guess I'll attack first. I'm gonna fire a crossbow at the green orc.
I like how we're all taking out the little targets first.
15.
15 hits.
Little giant bloodthirsty orcs.
Fuck. 4 points of damage.
Well, the person who was the actual name is probably the most dangerous one.
What'd you
Yeah.
attack? What'd you attack with?
By the
His
way,
turn's coming.
What, no,
4 points of
four
damage.
points. But what'd you attack with?
My crossbow.
Oh yeah, you unleash a bolt, and it slams in the bicep of this particular orc, and it looks pissed.
who the hell is
Well.
Tristal Trendar III?
That's the guy who came
it's-
out of the woods that was saying, "We'll take it from
Oh.
here."
That's the boss.
Oh, got it.
then-
Okay, okay.
Upon pissing that orc off, I decide to get behind Chop Tank.
Take a number.
I guess I'll go over here.
Damn it, people!
All right,
All of my tanks moved! This is not what I was hoping for.
let me just confirm this stuff.
I'm an old lady, come on.
Only thing that's bad about this, well, I'm not going to say it just yet. I'll wait.
Moves over here. Chop tank. Chop tank. Just confirming your AC is 18.
My AC is 18.
Get 18.
All right.
That's a good AC.
It is a hit.
Oh my God.
Oh wait, didn't I have a ready to action if he came over?
Oh yeah, you did. Sorry. Thank you so much. You get
Yeah.
your
Fast as
reaction.
pace.
Make your reaction.
Dirty 20.
That hits.
Mace to the
Nice.
face.
Mace to the face.
Battle axe.
What reaction is that?
He readied an action.
Oh,
7.
right. Okay.
Would you say 7?
7 damage.
And it's with a mace?
With a battle axe.
A battle axe. Yeah, you sink the battle axe in his chest and you feel a bunch of bones crack and you pull it out and blood spurts out. And he kind of looks up and he's like...
Axe to the...
But he does hit you in revenge with his great axe. He just kind of levels it down. It's like axe for axe. Let me pull up.
Alright.
Axe to the max.
I was trying to think axe to the backs.
Axe body spray.
And
Oh, God,
he
somebody
brings
else.
his
Thank you.
brings his
Thank
battle
you.
axe down, his biceps writhing, blood pouring out of his chest, and just sinks it into your shoulder for 14 points of damage.
Oh, wow.
He means
I'll
business.
take it.
Oh dear.
Let's see, as move up to its speed towards. And
Ouch. Some of us are still level 1.
Then don't get too close.
And the green orc.
Maybe the next time I say get behind me.
You know, I tried and everyone moved.
Green orc's also attacking him,
Alright.
and it gets a natural 20.
Oh, man.
Well, it was a fun adventure.
Yeah, he did a...
Shit.
You're really good at this falling down part.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I just want to make sure something.
Jeez.
You're
Yes,
fine.
if he takes more damage than he has,
You're
he's
fine.
dead.
If you take more than double, like, yeah. Anyway, 16 points of damage.
No, if you make more than your max.
Yeah.
Shit.
16 points of
So this
damage.
one walks
Yeah.
over to you and he brings his battle axe down into your side and just kind of like saws it through, and it cuts through your torso and you feel it go through hits your spine and kind of stops there, and you feel this tingling sensation and then lose all feeling in your legs and go down, and you are unconscious.
Yes. Now I'm at the death saves.
Yep. Fun time.
God.
Oh my god, you killed Chop Tank!
And
You bastard!
He chopped down Chop Tank. I think you should change your
Thistle.
name.
Thistle kind of comes over here. He's like, I don't understand why you're doing this to me. And he said, I just want the things that are over there. And wait, let me see what spells he has.
Ah, damn it, I knew it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's gonna cast Magic Missile.
Uh-oh.
Right at Maladroit.
Yeah, I can't dodge that.
One sec. Oh, that's cool. That does that. He fires off 3 magic missiles. That first one slams into you, and you feel this smoldering pain. The next one slams, you feel another smoldering pain, and then the final one sinks in for 9 points of damage.
Total?
9 total.
Okay, so I'm not dead yet.
You are not dead yet.
Yeah.
And that was his turn. Helen.
Huh.
Go for the
Got
ox.
ourselves a bit of a predicament here.
Go for the ox, lad. Lass.
I regrettably am going to have to move around behind this orc and engage in filthy melee like a scoundrel. I'm gonna take a swing at my rapier, and I think I get advantage.
You do, which
That-
also means you're gonna get your sneak attack too, you know.
Yes, 15 to hit.
That hits.
All right. 8 points of damage to this orc.
Oh, nice. All right. What weapon are you using? Rapier?
Rapier.
You kind of like give a flurry of like fake blows, and he kind of tries to dodge them all, and then you just sink it through his throat, and then rip it out the side in like a nice clean, whoosh, and he falls dead.
Excellent.
Oh, thank God.
Excellent.
Because I could not move without him getting out of there, so thank you.
So kill them quick, because I have no hit points. So please, thanks.
Anything else, Helen? Helen, anything else? Okay.
No.
Very fancy flourish. Morris.
Morris is gonna fuck the drunk act, just beeline for this guy here, exactly 30 feet.
I am
And
glad
then-
you did that. Engage that
and then
motherfucker.
Just go like, whoo, like huge arc with the quarter staff, two-handed, and then whack him like really hard for a 15 to
Hits.
hit.
You hit.
Hits. Yes! That is a 12 points of damage.
Nice.
And then immediately just gonna turn around and then I know it says unarmed, but I'm actually gonna do a kick. Just turn around and like
That's unarmed.
kick him.
That's an arm,
with,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Unarmed kick. Just like smack in the head. And yes! That's a 22 to hit.
That hits. Definitely.
For another 2 + 4, 6 points of damage
Excellent. Yeah, so
against this motherfucker.
you smack him in the side of the head, the quarterstaff, and blood shoots out. A tooth goes flying. And he's like, what? And then you just, as he's saying what, you just squarely snap kick him in his chest. And he kind of like lifts off the ground and then comes back down. And you feel rib break from the strike.
Nice.
Anything else?
Got any
That
more of
was
them rib
not
breaks?
very nice what you did there.
It's not my fault. You attacked me. Chop tank.
Technically.
All right, first death saving throw.
What, you can't heal yourself? Come on, man.
No, but that's success.
All right.
What's your duty on?
Maladroit.
All right, so I think what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to go ahead and use my final spell slot at the moment. I'm going to try to shoot a chaos bolt at the at Thistral, whatever his name is. So I have to actually roll to hit with that one.
Yep.
All right, let me see here. This is going to be 5. 17.
Hits.
All right, 2d8, and hope everyone cross your fingers that I get 2 of the
2d8.
same number.
Damn, kid.
Nope. That's not bad though. I get to choose between force and psychic, so this is going to be force damage,
Okay.
and it is going to be, but it's 2d8 plus d6. Make sure I'm reading that right. That's a lot.
Could be a lot. Could be
Yeah.
3. You could do 3 damage with that spell.
On a hit, the target takes 2d8 plus 1 damage. All right. For a total of 13 points of force damage.
Yeah, it
Fuck yeah!
this bolt of just energy kind of spirals all around, moving from side to side, looking extremely chaotic, and then slams into Thristle, lifting him off the ground, and you see kind of his bones breaking, and he slams hard into the ground, blood pouring out of his mouth, and he is down.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, you're just stealing my thunder on everything, aren't you?
I thought it was
Yeah,
teamwork.
yeah,
You set him
yeah.
up and I knock him down.
Anything else, Maladroit?
That fucking teamwork.
I want to go ahead and move away from this last orc. I'm going to move back. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll move back here.
Childera.
Sounds like a move I know. Hey, what about your crazy magic thing where like you get a random?
Oh,
That's at DM's discretion.
he's good for now.
okay.
She is good for now.
Fine.
And I found out we actually did a little bit wrong last time. When Andrew calls for it, I roll a d20, and if I roll a 1, then I roll on the wild search table.
Got
Holy
it.
shit, are you a wild magic sorcerer?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Am I the only one who doesn't know what this means?
All right, Childera. We'll cover this another time.
I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead
All right.
on the green orc.
What's his save?
13 wisdom.
13 wisdom. He's an orc. He's probably not very wise.
Oh,
He's probably wiser than I am, though.
And yet he saves.
fuck.
Oh,
Yeah, Toll the
that's
Dead
a shame because
sucks.
I was hoping to command this guy into the water had I lived.
All right, anything else,
Sorry.
Childera?
What did you cast?
Can you stabilize our down compatriot?
He cast Toll the Dead. It doesn't do any partial damage.
I
No, but
that
I was-
my action. I know.
Oh, that
I'll
was your
do it on
action,
the
okay.
next turn.
As long
Meladwa,
as he doesn't roll. Oh, that's true. He'll. Yeah, all right.
Meladwa, you took like a pretty bad hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna use a bonus action and use Healing Word. So let's see, it's 1d4 plus 3 plus an extra 3 because I'm a healing cleric. Okay, so 8 points.
Ooh, but nice. Thank you. I'm 1 point away from full.
Awesome. And then I'm going to move away.
Wise. Very wise.
See, it's a good strategy.
What is 5? 1, 2.
There's a rock right there that will not fall down dead.
But the orc can get around the rock.
Yep.
Hey, no, you're supposed to be in front of me. So...
Okay. So it's
Wait,
the orc's turn.
Where'd our cleric go?
Ran away. Run away!
What cleric are you?
Oh, happens.
Smart cleric.
The orc looks at you, Helen, and goes, and then attacks the downed chop tank.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is so cruel.
Leave Brittany alone!
And hits.
Wait, so
If you
what
get
does that
hit,
mean to me?
You get
That
two.
means
It's
that-
2 deaths. You automatically take 2 deaths. 2 death.
because it's
two
if
failures.
it's when you're adjacent, it counts as 2 hits. Is that right?
No, it's the moment you're dead. If you're unconscious, if you get hit once with damage, it's 2 death saving
Yeah.
throws right away.
No. If you're hit, I think if you're hit at range, like with an arrow, it's 1 death. But if you're hit adjacent, I think it's 2 death.
Oh,
I think it's
okay,
if you
maybe
take any
mean melee.
damage. I think it's if you
Yes.
take any damage. Anyway, yeah, you now have
Yeah.
2 failures, 1 success. And the orc just
Maybe we
kind of
should have actually-
growls at you
maybe we should-
and then takes a step towards Helen.
Maybe we should have actually gone ahead and stabilized him, huh?
Thristle's down. Helen, your turn.
Huh!
Didn't see
Every
that
week
coming,
we
did
go
you?
through this with you, Chop Tank. So,
Yep. But you're still alive. I have done my job as a tank.
I know. I just feel
True.
bad. That's all.
All right, Helen.
All right. Well, okay. Not how
Hit
I
it.
thought I was gonna play this character, but
My character's yelling, "Kill it! Kill it! Kill it!"
all right.
Precipitation. There's a big X on its chest. So,
Yeah.
All right. I kind of like do like one of these, like with my rapier, kind of like keeping it at arm's bay, and I maneuver around without leaving threat to here and here, and I obviously turn towards him, and I call to Morris. I say, Morris, darling, be a doll and flank him right there, and I point to here. And once Morris moves into position, I'm going to remove his liver with my rapier.
Sounds
so you can do a ready action for when.
Yes, he can.
The flanked.
Yeah.
Nice.
Any trigger.
never
Yeah,
thought about
whatever.
I
With
do.
dramatic dialogue.
That's how I play my rogue too. Okay.
Yeah,
Morris.
Yeah, but if Chop Tank is down 2 failed saves,
Mhm.
if he fails 1 more, he's gone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's dead for good.
So here's a question: Can anyone help him? Like I can't do anything.
I mean, it's Morris's turn. Morris is the only one who can help him.
If Morris does, I think a medicine check.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad. Okay, I'm sorry, Andrew. Can I just revise that slightly to just be here, so that he can go here?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move
Technically, less moving.
like this. I'm gonna move to here, and I don't have any tools or anything, but it doesn't say. I think
You can just
I think
do
you just
a
have
straight
the
check.
DC-10.
yeah. If you have the kit,
wait.
basically, yeah.
If it's
Hold on,
if it's a
time,
kid, I think
time.
it's a
No,
advantage.
I know. I know that if you have the kit, it's automatic. If you don't have it, you have
It's a
to do
DC
a medicine
10.
check.
It's a DC
The
10.
tank,
medicine check.
really, the tank has something to say. He
Wait,
gets
wait.
killed alive.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What is it? Chop
Helen
Tank.
had a ready action. Morris moved into position.
Yes.
Oh, true. Good point.
So
yeah.
let's
Maybe
do.
there's some stabbing.
We'll do the reaction first.
All right. I get to roll 4 dice. This is exciting. It's 20 something to hit.
Well, that definitely hits.
9 points of damage.
And yeah, basically, you bring the rapier down and slice across its chest, and it kind of distracts it. And as it goes down, you put the rapier through its ear, and you can feel the slushiness of brain mushing in there. And then you kind of like whip it through and separate the sinuses, and the bottom portion of its face sloshes off, revealing teeth and the tongue, and then it falls down dead.
Fuck yeah!
Okay.
And we are
And then
out.
I'm gonna
And
roll.
now you should be free to heal me up.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead
I'm
and do
gonna
that,
make-
and then we'll be out of initiative.
Medicine.
Thank you,
I
Jack, for
rolled
remembering
a,
that. I did that
So-
thing that I said.
I rolled a 2, so I'm gonna use luck to roll again. And I rolled a 5, so I'm gonna use luck to roll again. Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. I
Ow.
rolled
Wait.
3.
But wait, can he
You
still,
actively
can
killing
he
me?
still use his inspiration?
Yes, I still have inspiration.
Use some
Yes,
inspiration.
Oh,
I have an inspiration left. And that's a 16 plus 3, 19. Oh my god, I burned through 3 lucks.
That's impressive. That is very impressive. Okay.
But inspiration
stable now?
saved the day.
You are stable.
Don't die on me!
Don't you never run away from anything in your life?
Oh my god.
Wow, that was dramatic.
You are
Yeah,
you
but
are
I'm
stable.
still at 0, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're at 0, but you're no more
stable.
You're
saves. No more
stabilized.
saves.
You're stabilized.
Yeah.
All right,
You're
and
stabilized.
we're out of initiative. Thristle,
This is incredible. I rolled 2, 3, and 5. It's
The odds of that
incredible.
happening
impressive.
are pretty low.
Thristle kind of like looks at you all, and he's having his dying breaths, and you could see blood out of his mouth. He's like, I don't understand. You could have just left. I don't get it. And he looks at you. He's like, now you're gonna harvest the children. You're gonna harvest the babies. He's still alive. I'm gonna let you guys talk to him for half a beat.
I'm sorry, the
I
baby.
can't. I'm still
Are
unconscious.
those trails eggs?
He looks at you, he's like, no, that's just the residual magic. You gotta kill the babies.
Ah, that's what you were here to do?
He looks at you, he's like, better me than those motherfuckers from the goddamn College of Letters. And he says, the all-seeing gods. The all-seeing gods will take care of me in the next life. And they'll curse you in this one. And then, anyone else gonna do anything?
I'm staying by Chop
Oh.
Tank to make sure he's
Yeah.
stable.
No? Alright, he dies.
I say, darling, if you're reducing the population, aren't you giving the surviving members of the colony a greater chance to survive?
He looks at you, he's like, yeah, I knew there's one bastard in the group. And then he kind of looks at all of you, he's like, a curse upon you. And that's it. He dies.
I don't feel too bad for him because he just said he was going to kill the babies himself anyways. So, it's like,
Alright, so
Yeah.
with that newfound knowledge, what you gonna do?
let me go through his stuff.
Still sucking sand right now.
There's a bastard in every group.
Investigation.
And now,
Okay.
now that Chop Tank is stable, Morris is just gonna go to a bush and go take a piss.
I love it.
19.
So,
19.
Tank, are you dead or just mostly dead?
I'm mostly dead. I'm lying down.
He-
If you let me
he's
stay here for a
stable.
while, I probably
He's
can get a long
unconscious.
rest.
He's
I feel like
unconscious
you're
right
just
now.
sort of
Yeah.
like spread eagle on the beach, just
He's actually in the recovery posture.
Yeah.
Alright,
Does someone want to
Can
heal
I
him?
can I heal him?
absolutely you can.
Wait, can you heal yourself? Can you just be like,
Yes. No, he can't. 'cause
Ow,
he's
I'm unconscious.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds. Let's see, what does this do? I actually have to touch you, which is fine now. Sure. I can touch you, right?
Do I have permission to do this?
All right, so that was 8 plus 3 is 11 plus another 3 because I got my bonus. 14
Oh,
hit
excellent.
points.
You're up.
all right,
All right.
good
And
job,
I will,
Tank.
I will definitely not.
Better, thank you.
I will definitely stabilize you first from now on.
Maladroit. Maladroit, you find a sealed letter. You find a component pouch. You find 8 gold pieces. You find a dagger and what look like a bunch of jars that were meant to be used in the harvest, and a small spell book.
Ooh. Not that I don't think the spellbook helps me quite as much as a sorcerer, but still nice to see. Just out of curiosity, that was the sealed letter. Do I recognize what the seal is? I mean, is there a sigil on it?
It has like 6 eyes on it, 6 tiny eyes.
Does it look anything like the coin that we had that had the beholder on it?
Yes, it does. It's very reminiscent of it.
Of course, why not? Taking a look at it, Does it look like it's safe to open?
Give me
The letter?
a perception.
Oh God. Okay, how about an 18?
Yeah, there's a magic ward on this thing.
Okay, and it's not something that I would be
You
able
can just
to...
see that there's like a very thin like filament inside of it.
Okay, and it's not something that I would probably be able to disarm myself.
Reasonably
I don't know
not.
how you... What was that?
Reasonably not. You need somebody who's good at sleight of hand.
Hey, anyone want to try to
I
do this
can
without
help
destroying it?
Darling, I could help with that.
Do you have thieves' tools?
I do, darling, yes.
Advantage plus proficiency, sleight of hand.
Wait,
Wait,
I'm
doesn't
gonna
sleight of
guide
hand
him.
usually have proficiency?
Yeah, you have your proficiency because you're a rogue, but
Oh, okay.
do a sleight of hand and advantaged.
And guidance,
And I'm
guidance
gonna
from
guide you.
Sodara.
Yeah,
What is guidance?
plus D4.
Guidance is
fuck up.
plus D4. I like
The
rolling lots of
Guidance is
dice.
plus D4.
All right. Oh wow, a natural 1, and it's a good thing I had the other thing.
That's the advantage, okay.
That's the advantage of advantage, and with help, that's 21.
Okay, you're good.
Quite a
So
delta.
you grab out some tweezers and you very delicately remove the piece of filament and you throw it aside, and it lands on the sand and nothing happens, and then it bursts into a giant column of flame. Like everybody feels the heat of it.
Oh dear.
Nice job.
Should be safe now.
all that needlepoint paid off.
You know you love those mittens. Don't deny it.
I do. They're fabulous. So let's open up the letter and take a look at it.
You open it up and it's really simple. It's almost like just staccato orders. It says, "Go, find the dust. Make sure the college doesn't get the dust. Bring the dust back to us in..." I didn't come up with this thing, so this is spontaneous.
Yes.
In the Red City.
The Red City. Okay.
Red
cool.
City's
Nice
an actual
recovery.
thing in this universe, so that one's not made up.
Any idea? Does anybody here know anything about the Red City?
I will allow one person to roll with advantage.
For what skill?
History.
History.
I have a +6 on history,
Oh,
Yeah, that's not bad.
and that is a 15.
Okay, that's reasonable enough. The Red City is in Baneport. It's a very old city. It's elvish, but it's obviously no longer occupied by elves. And Baneport is part of the Black Isles. It's an independent kingdom, but it owes allegiance to the Yellowth Empire, and it is a trade port for pirates.
Okay. All right.
it's impressive.
Well,
You know what else is impressive, Maladroid, is that you actually roll a sorcerer with a higher intelligence and charisma. That's impressive.
Yes, that was on purpose. Because she has a very high intelligence and a very low wisdom.
Yeah, intelligence, the dump stat of 5e. So,
All right, so let's do a little wrap up. What are you going to do about gathering this powder?
Well,
So,
Mal-
can I get a
Maladroid-
sense?
Oh,
sorry,
go ahead. You go first. You go
Okay,
first.
so my character is sort of like, pretty utilitarian about the world around her. And her honest thought is, okay, sure, you have to harvest X amount of these young to create this powder. We do that all the time with everything we eat. Does that, in fact, increase the survivability of the remaining offspring and give them not only a greater chance to be successful in life, but a greater chance to reproduce, ergo sustaining the ecosystem, or is it ultimately a net negative?
Nature. Roll nature.
I'm not good at nature. I'm good at asking questions.
I
was
missed
just-
something
these
here.
moments-
What kind of babies do we have to harvest?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
wait.
6. I
No
got
one
a
said.
6.
A 6?
But these
I mean, they're
Anybody
babies.
got any help for me?
They're babies. Things
Um,
have babies.
My
Well-
character protects those that cannot protect themselves. Where do you
They-
think I'm going?
They definitely can't protect themselves.
Well,
My character
that being
is my character looks out over the water and sees the frolicking manta rays, that kind of stuff, and she just doesn't want anything to do with it.
but think about it this way. Imagine that.
She's not going to try to stop anyone else, but she just personally doesn't want anything to do with it.
Well, imagine this, right? Imagine you have 100 brothers and sisters. Now, 90 of your brothers and sisters are going to die because the 10 other brothers and sisters eat all of their food.
You see like half a dozen babies.
Half a dozen babies?
Yeah.
Can anybody talk to
Yeah,
animals?
shut up, Helen. The babies
All right.
need to live.
There we go. Guys, so we take the 4 babies, leave 2. They'll not only have more resources to live, but they'll live better lives.
Does anyone else
Favor.
anyone else feel like making a nature roll?
I will.
I'll allow one more. Let's say it's advantage.
I have
The
a good
party
one.
the party's talking about it. Let's
I'm
give it
gonna
advantage.
guide him too this time.
A nature
Please
roll
do.
for what?
Oh, okay, hang on.
Well, you'll find
Do you
out once you roll.
understand if I am
Alright.
making wildly inaccurate predictions?
Nature, my final nature with the guidance was 15.
Okay, well, looking out at this, you recognize that this is probably some type of like breeding ground, and it doesn't look like there's many of them there. Like maybe
Yeah,
this
I was just-
population's been culled to an extreme level.
Yeah. I think that if you keep culling them, they have nothing else to breed with, and then they all die. It's sort of like these creatures that I knew back on one of my other travels, that people really like the ivory in their horns, so they kept killing them to get the ivory, and it didn't really help out the population. They actually got worse than better.
So, is there a way that we can harvest what we need and help them grow their population?
No.
You want to go cuddle up
Do
with
you know
her at
that?
night like the goats?
Yeah. Well, according to my character's nature roll, that's her belief. It's like, yeah, you cull these things, you're
DM's
actually
nodding.
pushing them closer to extinction.
Does anyone have any spells that can duplicate these life forms?
Right. Maladroit is going to go ahead and actually ask if the others would help her gather up any other valuables from the dead orcs, and then she's going to leave. She's out of here.
Yeah, at best I can bless the water that these manta rays are in.
Can we?
At the same time, I am going to lay on hands on myself and go to full health.
I'd like to investigate.
And I'm gonna turn away while Chop Tank is doing this.
I think we all do. This hairy ass dwarf, he's just like, oh, I feel so much better.
Wow.
He's like
Childera,
rubbing his beard. Yes, that's good.
Yeah. So when you first
Thank you for that
described it,
image, Dex.
there was like
Wait, so guys,
we left that place. Anyhow, when you described the babies, you said they were shimmering, right?
yes,
As
they're
they were
shimmering and there's
swimming.
like a little dust falling off them and then it vanishes.
Can we get a closer look at that? Or can I? Get
I mean,
a
yeah, you
closer
can
look?
wait in. They're friendly. If you've ever they'll come up to you.
Like swim with the dolphins kind
Yeah.
of thing?
Can I determine where this dust is coming from? Like,
Give me a
The skin
give me a nature
or-
check.
God damn,
Or Arcana. I'll let you use Arcana if you want to use Arcana.
mine both suck.
They're both intelligent.
13.
There's a gland. Probably a gland. It's always a gland.
Can we milk the gland?
It,
So,
You have to kill it to
like
get
a
the gland.
beaver, it probably needs to be removed.
So
We can't
here's
just
a-
gather the dust as it falls off.
No, it's as it kind of shimmers out. It's almost as if it becomes
Dissolves.
inoculate. Yeah, it's no longer has its magical properties.
what were the gifts that everybody got? Corey, you got the balls.
I got a dagger.
Helen
so I
got the
can
balls.
skin.
I got the bell.
The bell, and then
I got a couple rocks. I got.
But you had
So-
really good wine and you didn't have any hangover.
So here's a
why
hypothetical
wouldn't the
question.
adult have it?
All right,
too?
I feel bad for Morris. You also in your pocket just now as you're taking a leak, find another little wineskin, like a little one, and you take a big swig from it, and then as you let your hand go, you feel like it refills.
Everyone wants to
Best one ever! Nice! Yes! Nice!
But it's
Oh,
worth
this is perfect like item for Morris.
All right, so here's a hypothetical, and I realize we're getting into philosophy here. If we leave, we walk away, what's to prevent someone else from coming in and harvesting these little babies? Darling.
That is a good question.
Sorry, I missed the question. What was that?
What
So
if we leave?
your theory is, if someone else is going to kill these babies, why shouldn't we?
Or is there a solution that gets us what we need and prevents them from being massively slaughtered in the future to the point of extinction?
Are you really trying to find any angle to kill these poor babies?
No, darling.
Now I'm
I'm trying to
wondering.
find an angle where we get paid and these beautiful creatures get to frolic off into the ocean.
But it's not going to happen without walking one.
Without what?
Without whacking one.
Whacking one. Sorry, the Canadian accent kicked in there for a second. Without walking one? Walking one where?
Like French Canadian, Jersey accent, mixed with fake Irish. It's a disaster.
Yeah, coming
It's all
together.
blending together.
That was meant to be Irish.
Andrew, so, like, like we put our heads together, we think for a while. We're all obviously like trying to think about the greater good. Can we think of a solution that
I
gets
think
us
your character is
paid?
the only one trying to think about how to kill these things.
No. My character is only thinking about us getting paid.
Okay.
Darling, we have to complete the mission.
Let's see. Who here is very mission focused and fortune focused? Morris, you kind of are. Like
My character's not
in the
fortune
perspective.
focused. My character
Sorry.
is mission focused.
In the perspective of like you want to get paid, you don't want to do a lot of work. You don't want to deal with assholes, right?
Well, I guess, but
Do you consider yourself an intelligent individual?
intelligent, mildly above average, but
All right.
Darling,
Bottom line
the
is-
mission comes first.
these are beautiful creatures. I'm not gonna slaughter them needlessly.
Maladroit, you're intelligent.
Remember, Morris is in meta game terms. Morris is chaotic good.
Right. We're gonna do a little DM guidance. Maladroit. I'm getting tired. Maladroit. Roll a d20 intelligence, just straight up intelligence.
How about include my bonus? How about a 19?
19's
Nice.
great.
Nice.
You kind of have like a thought pop in your head, and you're like, well, I don't want to harvest these poor animals. But there are mitigating circumstances, aren't there? I have this letter. Maybe that would be valuable.
What's the letter?
Oh.
What's the letter again?
That's right. Okay, so the letter could actually be valuable to sell to someone else. That information could be. Is that the thought I'm having?
Maybe valuable to your patron.
Right. So instead of the dust, this could be just as valuable, if not more valuable.
What's on the letter again?
The letter is basically the note that Thristel had, which said, "Go get the stuff. Don't let the mages have it, and then bring it to the Red City."
Okay, darling. So
These are the ones that
we
kill
take this note-
all of the suppliers
Right.
and the entire staff. Of the
In other words, this is a sign that, like in the very beginning, I believe the guy was talking about how there was something going on, and this is a sign in terms of who's trying to keep the wizards from getting their supply. It's pointing to something bigger, a bigger thing. The missing dust is just a symptom. This is pointing to the cause. I'm
So
totally
my
freestyling on this.
character doesn't like walking away from a mission left unfulfilled.
It's
but-
not unfulfilled.
No,
Rattle the
it
paper.
just took a different direction.
Exactly, we've fulfilled a greater mission. So if we're going to leave these creatures alone, let's cover our tracks, darling. And so as we leave, I as best I can, I conceal the path, and once we go across the bridge, I slice the bridge so no one can follow us. Basically, trying to make sure
Nice.
that no one else can get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I can't complete the mission, no one can.
Cool.
I guess in that, well, if you want to do that, then I'll, just to be safe, gather up the orc bodies and create bonfire. Just burn them.
All right, that sounds good. All right, you do all of this. Head back to town. We're just gonna fast forward.
Well, before we leave,
Yeah.
I'll just go take a walk in the lagoon or whatever it is where they're all swimming around. Is there one that's struggling more than the others? Like, are they all doing good, or
They're doing
is there
good.
one that's
They're
you
all
can
happy.
tell that
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna
They're happy and
see if I can
cute.
go ahead and actually just pet one real quick.
You definitely can. You don't even have to roll for it. They
Yeah.
come right up to you. They're super friendly, and you feel this warmth of intelligence as they approach you. It's almost like you can feel them caressing your mind with some type of psychic energy, and you feel
Alright, so-
you feel a level of
Yeah, I definitely
thankfulness.
also do that. That sounds excellent.
You feel a level
Alright,
of
I
thankfulness
just-
from them.
I just pet them.
I-
Then
what
I
was
was
that?
like, "You take care, lads, and just like go away from here."
You can
I'll
feel
keep
the
it at you,
thankfulness from them. You actually can, like, it's almost like there are no words, but you feel the sense of them saying thank you.
Aw, my pleasure.
I
Keep a very close eye on
three
Helen if
animal
she comes up
handling,
close
you
to
know,
one
so-
of them.
I'm not gonna kill them.
Even though it's not a perfect protection, at least I'm going to reach out and perform a ceremony. I'm going to bless the water that they're in.
They kind of
So it's
swim in a
holy
circle
water.
around your hand. All right, leaving beautiful
At least you
trail
can
of
keep
shimmering
foul
light.
things from them.
So you make your way back. You cut the rope. you burn the orcs, bury what's left of them, and it's a very yeah.
On the way back, I would actually ask the group this. Should we just say that we never even saw the manta rays? Just say that we ran across these people, they were looking for them, we battled them, but don't give away the location of this place.
But wait,
like
they
that.
don't know that it's manta rays, right?
Right,
don't
we
know
don't
anything.
well, somebody knows it because someone's been
we don't-
harvesting them,
They don't know.
but I'm just
All
saying,
we,
to
all
our
we know is
benefactor,
we
we just
found
tell
this
them that
one letter after we were attacked.
we found, we were attacked by these creatures that said they were going to go ahead and get the dust, and we leave it at that, and we say we found this letter. I'm just saying,
Andrew, I think the feed went down. I'm only seeing a black screen.
I'm on Twitch and I can
Oh
see
no,
it.
never mind.
Oh, okay.
It's just
It's
So
bad
anyways,
must have been a
Verizon
burp
connection.
on my internet.
No more bugs today.
Yep.
Okay, so is everybody in agreement to that?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's
Okay,
excellent.
so you make your way back. It's easy to find, and you get back aboard your ship, and there's Caldecan. And he looks, he's like, so did you find it?
Say, well, as we were on our way,
And he's like looking,
we
like expectantly.
we were attacked by a group of bandits, orcs, with the
Orcs.
gentleman by the name of Thrisseldale III, and I hold out the letter. We found this on him.
And he holds it, and he like looks, and he's like, this is not magical powder. And he opens it, and you see him. I don't know if you're gonna get your money. Did you read this?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes.
did.
He turns to the captain, Captain Danegood Melbourne. He says, Captain, we must make way immediately at max speed back to the college. I must send this ahead of us. There's magic to be done. And he looks all at you and he says, you'll get your coin. And maybe a bonus too. This is good. The powder can wait. And that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for
You know-
playing in my one-off. I greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you for
That was
hosting.
good. That was a good one-off. Woo. I got tingles.
If this had been the same party that like Matt ran through like no time like the present, man, we would have slaughtered all of those manta rays.
All
Poor
the chaotic
Corey was the
usuals,
only
yeah.
one who was good in that group.
All right, for anyone who's watching, thanks for watching and bye, and we really appreciate it. If you're interested in watching more of these, we probably in the future at some point will do a bunch more one-offs, and they'll be recorded here. And anyone who wants to watch the Devastations, it's Thursday, 8:30 p.m. New York time, which is EDT right now. So thank you, and have a great weekend.